Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Sporgy,
the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions.
and now here are your hosts.
Oh, it's time for a monthly show, I guess. Way it goes right now. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm the Iceman.
There he is. A little delay on him today. That's all right. So, yeah, it's our July show. I think the last time we did one of these was about a month ago, maybe like 3 weeks. Sports is, I guess, going to try to start back up. We'll get to that. It's should we take bets on who's going to start, who's going to finish, what's going to actually? Yeah,
I don't even know where to begin with this, man, because there was. I mean, we can get into it. If you want to go into this topic to head off, we can get into it. But I mean, like, dude, there's already like guys testing positive in training camp for baseball, hockey. You know, it's like, even if they put these guys in these bubble cities or these, you know, whatever they're calling them, you know, these games will be played here, these games will be played here, and then when there's a championship game, you know, they'll be played here. And the only people allowed in are the people who have to be there. Okay, I get that idea, but if everybody's in the same hotel room, same locker room, on the field together, I mean, Jesus Christ, how many times do you see baseball players lick their fingers? That's an unconscious habit at this point.
Yeah, you know, we'll get to that later because I could eat up a bunch, but because let's go with the momentum of what we were talking about before we started the show here. DeSean Jackson, oops, like, hey, remember, kids, always cite your sources, research what you're posting. Isn't that kind of the main thing we're learning from DeSean Jackson? Besides a few other things.
Well, yeah. I mean, that, and I guess this is, yeah, it depends on how you look at, this whole situation hinges on how you look at freedom of speech. If you feel like, because here's the thing, anyone who's defending them, I'm sorry, bro, you got a serious problem with Jewish people. I don't care what race you are. If you agree with what the man posted, you got a serious problem with Jewish people, and you should probably talk to somebody about it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, personally, I don't know. I don't get the hatred for a group of people who just, like, militantly leave you the fuck alone for the most part.
Hey, DeSean and Ice Cube, show us on the doll where the Jew touched you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that if you're talking to, if you're talking about guys that run with NOI, you know, Nation of Islam, you're talking about guys who look at Farrakhan as, like, you know, a valid leader, then of course you're going to. I'm sorry. I don't care how reformed David Duke claims to be. He cannot be a white leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, yeah. We've got the fucking books on what you've said. You've shown to be a duplicitous motherfucker. At least you at least will grow two faces. No, we don't even know how many more you got. You know, so why would we ever trust you? Sorry, you can ruin your name to the point where, yeah, you're going to have to put some weight behind them words for me to believe them.
I look at it this way. Stephen A. Smith is my barometer for black people, black athletes.
It's your black friend.
Right there is where you're starting off on the wrong foot, but go ahead.
If Stephen A. Smith disagrees with the black man's wrong. Done.
Why is it the black man? Like, you make it sound like you're talking about like them as a monolithic group.
Because if anybody knows
If he
Stephen A.
disagrees with
Smith,
a black man, how about that?
oh my fucking, you're gonna let me explain?
Let me strap in. Go ahead.
If any black athlete, anybody who knows Stephen A. Smith, I was going to say from time to time, but more often than not, shows his prejudice. He loves to defend and get behind black people. And he talks about his time on the beat as a beat writer in Philly, and he talks about how all of his struggles and...
Okay, dude, okay, hold on. Give me 1 sec, real quick. This is a sports show. We all know who Stephen A. Smith is. We're all very acquainted with his resume.
Okay, so if anybody knows
he's
Stephen A.
militant.
Smith,
That's what you're saying, right?
yes, and if he comes out and says, "Look, bruh, not for nothing, you fucked up. You know you fucked up, right?" Then I'm sorry, not sorry. You're wrong, because it's very few and far between that Stephen A. ever comes out and says that the black person's wrong.
Well, I don't need Stephen A. Smith to tell me a damn thing. I don't need anybody on any of these channels to tell me a damn thing. I was just glad to see one guy who seemed to have some common sense about it. That's Emmanuel Acho. However you pronounce his name. He used to be at ESPN. They let him go. Now he's at Fox Sports. He did a little segment about it, and he basically brought up, he's like, look, there's no excuse for ignorance and blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, also there's a couple things that no one else is going to talk about that I'm going to bring up. What was his intent? Do you think his intent was to piss off Jewish people? I mean, intent, he goes, we got to take intent into these conversations. And he goes, on top of that, I don't agree with cancel culture because no one learns anything. The minute someone says one thing you don't like, you throw them overboard, that's the end of it. Well, that's going to be an empty boat on a long enough timeline. Yeah. So I was like, I wanted to stand up and give a YouTube clip, a fucking hand, stand ovation. I was like, thank the fuck Christ, someone in the media said this, and on top of it, because it's not just enough to go, well, he fucked up, but Drew Brees said that he's offended by people kneeling in front, stop at the whataboutism bullshit. I don't agree with trying people that were throw Drew Brees out the NFL, blacklist him, do him like they do Kaepernick, whatever the fuck was being said about him. I didn't agree with that. I don't agree with throwing Deshaun Jackson out of the fucking league. If this is a situation where he was, I don't know, ignorant of the facts, maybe talking out his ass, doesn't really know what he's talking about, and people who, if he goes, well, I'm going to go to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and ask him what he really meant. Yeah, okay. No, sorry, dude, that don't work for me. It just don't. I'm sorry. I'd be like I said, David Duke, going to a forum. I went to the head of the Aryan Brotherhood and talked to him. He told me he educated me on the subject. No, bullshit, dude. Bullshit.
I look at it this way, and I don't know about you guys, but I'll admit from time to time when I see something on Facebook that I thought was funny or that I thought was right or just whatever, for whatever reason, I post it to my Facebook, and sometimes I get called on shit, and I'm like, what? Why are you on, racist websites posting shit? I wasn't. I just looked at the meme on somebody else's Facebook and was like, yeah, click, share. And sometimes I don't see it all the way through.
Yes. See,
and I think, Deshaun, what he saw was, black people will stop the world takeover or the Jewish takeover or whatever. And he was like, yeah, we're strong black people. And that's what he took from it. So he interpreted it just a little off.
Yeah, he saw something that he agreed with that he thought came from Louis Farrakhan. Did not do
his proofreading. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because look, I've had Ice and I had this conversation off air just recently. I was like, look, man, you noticed that us, Jesus Christ, it's like being the coolest kid in a special ed class, but us guys who've been on the internet for 20, 25 years, you notice how we don't really get into the political bullshit. We don't get into arguing and posting constant shit to get reactions from people. Besides, maybe make someone smile, share a song you like, hey, check this out, that type thing.
Keep it light.
Because we've been through the fucking wars, and we know we're not going to change anyone's mind. But I also remember, I'm glad that I went through that before shit like Facebook, where you just see something, because you're absolutely right, Earl. I know a lot of people do this. They see something they like, they go down and they hit share. Post a wall, and they don't even look at where that meme was posted. And people go, they shouldn't. If it came from a racist website, it's a racist meme. No. Well, welcome to your second day on the internet. Just because there's a site that's dedicated to one thing, there are fucking forums about sports on porn websites. Okay?
Yeah, that blows my mind every time I see that. Okay.
Who the fuck gets their jerk on? It's like, now it's time to talk sports.
Yeah, I gotta stay on the porn site to talk sports. Go to a sport.
And when does it become weird? When do you become like the guy who goes to the strip club to eat, but never gets a dance? When you go to the porn website to post on the forum, but you never look at porn anymore.
Well, you come here every day. The steak's good.
But no, seriously, all bullshit aside, the cancel culture shit needs to be called on. I'm glad there's someone in the sports world doing it because it has to come from somewhere. And
if you know he's going to be shouted down, right, because of where he works.
Marcellus Wiley was sitting right next to him and agreed.
But that's he replaced Emmanuel.
Jason Witt?
Yeah, he replaced. That's the network of Jason Whitlock, who's like he's what, the go-to Uncle Tom at this point. I said it because we all know what gets thrown his way.
Oh yeah, if you ever go in the comment section of any video he's on, there's a whole lot of that. But look, man, he's not calling for he's not saying like Drew Brees had a right to do this and Drew Brees had a right to do that. What he is saying is, look, Drew Brees said some shit that, going back to what he said, intent matters. What was Colin Kaepernick's intent? All these people who got upset over he's disrespecting the flag, the national anthem, and the troops, he never said anything about those guys, did he? Or any of those things, did he? Now, if you want to say police, okay, because he did. Fuck him. You say it. You got to have some balls to put your shit out there publicly. You say it, you should have to own it, period. He went out there, warm-ups with pig socks on. Pigs dressed as cops. Yep, you did that. So, but I mean, doesn't that kind of fold into why he was kneeling against police brutality? How does that, you know what I'm saying? Like, intent matters.
Yeah, but also Kaepernick also had a Chavo Guerrero shirt on.
So does every fucking high school kid who listens to Rage Against the Machine between 1992 and 1999, 2000. They don't know what the fuck that means half the time. They have no idea who the fuck he is.
No, what he did his dumbass move was he said Fidel Castro had some good ideas. And everybody kind of collectively went, you might have been a little busy playing football in high school there to crack a history book there, Colin?
Well, the other side of my coin about sharing a meme, blah, 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 the other side of that is somebody was talking to me about joking, and sometimes people have truth in their jokes. Maybe they don't have the balls to flat out be blunt and say shit, but you go up and you're like, man, you're as ugly as my dog's ass, ha 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 ha. But it's supposed to be funny, but at the end of the day, down deep somewhere, you think that person is fucking ugly.
No, it ain't down deep. It's usually right up front. I'm basically trying to be funny by tell you that you an ugly motherfucker at the same time.
Talk about dog whistle insults, Earl.
But no, I'll put him through a bullhorn. So I mean, but that's just me. But I'm gonna try to make you laugh about it because there's a funny way to say it. Because it's like you are what you are, motherfucker. You passed the mirror this morning. You know what you look like, Shrek. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes when you say things as a joke or in passing, or you see something that would make you laugh, somewhere down deep, that's what you're trying to mean. So a lot of people, when they see, Drew Brees talking about kneeling on the flag's disrespect, now Drew Brees is saying that fuck Black Lives Matter, fuck the cops. And when Deshaun Jackson says Jewish Americans will take over and blah, blah, blah. Now Jackson's saying, oh, fuck the Jews. And so it really goes into the psychology of the whole thing. And that's why I'm looking at it going, he said what he said. So fucking what?
Yeah, but he's getting a pass. That's the problem. That's kind of what Rich is.
Not anymore. He ain't. Everybody in the
really he's still on the Eagles.
Yeah, but so was
still on the Saints.
So was homeboy who in 2013 went to the Kenny Chesney concert. Was like, I'll whoop every one of you ass. And it was like, first of all, why are there a bunch of black people at a Kenny Chesney concert? Second of all, really, dude? really? And yeah, they gave him a 5-day suspension. And it was like, okay. It was during training camp, too. So he's probably like, they want to be out there doing 2 days, 3 days anyways. Fuck that. I'll sit at home, watch Netflix for fucking 5 days, or sit in a hotel. No problem.
Well, I mean, is this maybe too like if this was Deshaun Jackson, the rookie, it'd be bye-bye?
Yeah, because this was I can't remember his name. Riley something or another, I don't know. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I remember the big stink, and then it was, for some reason, the narrative became, don't give him attention. That's what he wants. And I was like, I don't think he knew he was being recorded when he said that, because I don't think he just said it like that.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he was like, ooh, I'm going to say, you got your phone? Get your phone. Periscope me.
Yeah, here we go. I'm about to drop the M-bomb. We're going viral on this bitch.
Yeah, and he yells it at a Kenny Chesney concert. And the one black guy who's there, who's working on the crew, turns around and is like, what'd I ever do to you, man?
Let's be honest, there were 2 black guys there. The other one was working security. All right.
Okay, fair enough, yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. It might have been a security issue. But still, the point remains. This is the same organization. Some outlandish shit was said. By the way, Emmanuel Acho or Achu or God, whatever his fucking name is, because I know we're going to mangle it, and then the next time we talk, we're all going to forget how to pronounce it, but we'll learn it between then and now.
Acho?
I guess Acho. I don't know. Emmanuel Acho.
This motherfucker's only 29 years old. That's what takes me back looking at his Google card.
Who?
Emmanuel Acho. Or Acho, or whatever the fuck his name is. He was born in 1990. Makes me take stock of my life. Anyway.
Well, I'm glad he called the bullshit out. And oh shit, I sent you guys the article.
That nice lady at ESPN,
Ellie Duncan. Yes, says she's ripped the Eagles. Well, yeah. She said there would be a deserved outrage if a white player posted a quote on Instagram attributed to David Duke. There is no hierarchy when it comes to bigotry. Okay. She said this. Emmanuel Acho said he's not with cancel culture, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sorry, I got my quotes mixed up. I pulled a Deshaun Jackson, ironically, in the middle of this.
Zing. Now, as
there's
anyone...
no hierarchy when it comes to bigotry, racism, sexism, anti-Semitism. They are all despicable behaviors. They're all disgusting, and as such, should all be treated in the same vein.
Now, I've officially been alive in 2020 too long. Is she getting shit for comparing David Duke and Louis Farrakhan?
Oh, I'm sure she is. I mean, it's probably the comment section shit. I mean, it's not reached the pitch to where ESPN or any other sports network's going to comment on it yet. I'm willing to bet that. I really am. So I'm glad there's people in some segment of the population that is going, okay, time out. We've gone a little too far with this bullshit. Okay, this throw them overboard, cancel bullshit. Nope, we're not doing this. And I'm glad the sports world's doing it because we like sports. I'm glad these motherfuckers got some backbone.
Just like anything else, if it goes on too long, Americans are like, you know what? Fuck that. Stop.
Plus, we're too busy taking care of the mascots anyways. All right? We got bigger shit to take care of. All right?
Well, we'll at least touch on that. But, well, I mean, then like I said, Steven Jackson comes in. He busts in. He says he's right. Let's see here. So I just read a statement to Philadelphia Eagles regarding Deshaun Jackson's comments. This is Steven Jackson, former NBA player, by the way, commenting on Deshaun Jackson, if I didn't make that clear. Quote, he was trying to educate himself, educate people, and he's speaking the truth, right? He's speaking the truth. You know he don't hate nobody, but he's speaking the truth of the facts that he knows and trying to educate others. But y'all don't want us to educate ourselves. If it's talking about the black race, y'all ain't saying nothing about us. They're killing us. Police killing us and treating us like shit. Racism is at an all-time high. But none of you NFL owners spoke up on that. Ain't none of you teams spoke up on that. But the same team had a receiver who said the N-word with the hard ER publicly. They gave him an extension. Okay, well, first of all, can we just agree Steven Jackson's a moron?
Yeah, is he now a former employee of wherever he was working?
He used to. He was, if I'm correct, he was one of the main participants in the Malice at the Palace. the brawl that broke out in the Palace when he was on the Pacers. So, I mean, like, you know, he's probably not working for nobody.
Stephen Smith is no longer in the NBA. He used to be. He did
Steven
start.
Jackson. Dude,
My bad. My bad.
You're saying what I just said. Shh. Let me finish.
He was playing in this 3-player tournament ran by Ice Cube, though.
Well,
they get together and
he ain't gonna lose his job anyway. So that's,
Ice Cube will promote him.
That'd be like if Kid Rock come out and said something crazy, and people are like, "Oh my God, how right wing and alt right of him," and well, how can we cancel him? I don't know. What's the last thing he did? A song with Hank Williams Jr. Yeah, they're pretty much uncancelable. You can't cancel people that like don't give a fuck about you. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe this is why he feels free to speak this way. But I mean, just seriously, okay, racism at an all-time high. That's a direct quote.
In the NFL?
Who said that?
What?
Who said that?
Steven Jackson.
I'm sure there's people who got dog sicked on him and hit in the face with a fire hose that might disagree with you, who had to use separate bathrooms and separate water fountains.
Racism at an all-time high, if he'd have said, racism at an all-time high that I've ever seen in my life, and if he said that, okay, well, that's based on your perspective, and we could sit down and have a conversation over it. Racism at an all-time high. But you're not being bought and sold like cattle. You aren't being bred and your children torn out of your arms and your wife's arms. You aren't being separated from your families. Okay? Yeah. Ooh, someone painted over a Black Lives Matter mural on a street somewhere. If you think that even compares to any of the racism in the history of the world, but I'll give him credit. He's probably only talking about the history of this country. We still ain't nowhere fucking near it.
My response to that is simply, I think Patrick Mahomes would disagree.
Right. And I bet you there's some people who live through, they're probably very old and not very many of them left, but some people live through the Jim Crow South that'd be like, could you say that again? Well, one, because they're very old, but two, yeah. Just, it's...
You know, I posted something on my Facebook with a lot of black actors talking about racism and how Morgan Freeman, I'm sure you've seen the video of Morgan Freeman saying, stop talking about it, and yada, yada.
You can't, you're not allowed to show that video. You're not allowed to bring that up, because I say in the chat all the time, it goes against the mob, bro. Can't go against the mob.
Yeah. But
they're in charge right now.
One of my white friends goes, and these are the elected black leaders that are speaking for the black people. And I'm like, yeah, I think Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman are pretty well elected to speak for them. Oh, I bet you that they had better lives than the majority of the minority. And I was like, Morgan Freeman was born in 1937.
Yeah, but Morgan Freeman
in Nashville,
talked about
Tennessee,
growing up. Be like,
in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm pretty sure Morgan Freeman has a right to speak.
Morgan Freeman has seen
on the racist issue.
Has seen
not only that, but Johnny Cash's family. Johnny Cash was born maybe a decade prior to that. Maybe his family were sharecroppers. And if poor white trash was sharecroppers, do you think that the average black person was living like they're living on Housewives of Atlanta? I mean, seriously, this is the bullshit. This is what kills me. Is that Emmanuel chose what he said will get drowned out by the shit with Steven Jackson. You know why? Because the shit that Steven Jackson says is going to piss people like ice off. And it's going to get him fucking fired up enough, not you specifically, but people like you, to go online and start picking fucking fights about this shit. And so the news media will pick up on that, and this will dominate this story. Meanwhile, someone who actually injected some fucking, I don't know, common sense, logic, reason, dare I say, acted their age, not their shoe size, said something we should all probably agree with, at least in principle, and nope, like a fart in the wind, gone.
Nope, because we've disconnected from logic a long time ago. It was somewhere in the last decade. I can't pinpoint it yet. It was before 2016, before everyone wants to throw that narrative in there. Like, it's... I don't
Well, I'm not getting into, because we've covered that on this show on Unregimented ad nauseum. But here's something that really irks me is that and this was something that I was listening to on 97.1 earlier today that points out that people need to start to realize that the people that you're taking cues from, that you see on television, who are sports stars, movie stars, talking heads that have become celebrities unto themselves, even to a smaller extent, like internet celebrities, influencers, whatever you want to call it. These people live in a bubble, more so than any of us.
Yep.
Like, we all bubble up. You pretty much decide what you don't want in your world, and you fucking get rid of it. And then when you want to get offended, and you want to pick a fight with somebody, you go look for something to get offended by. That's how most people live. These type of people live in bubbles where they're in reality in them parted ways long time ago. Because they'll do shit like get caught driving 50 miles over the speed limit, drunk as shit, 3 a.m, bowl of half-smoked weed on the passenger seat, 2 grams of coke in their pocket, and talk about, this is because I'm a celebrity, or this is because I have haters, or this is because, I'm an athlete, or I have money, or whatever, or my race, or whatever. And it's like, no, you're doing dumb shit. And you think you should get away with it because everyone turns a blind eye to your dumb shit because they want the money that falls out your pockets that you ain't paying attention to. This is what that breeds. This type of fucking comment that Steven Jackson come up with. Because in his mind, he's not even wrong. This is why I am infuriated when people tell me I have to debate with someone who has never conceded a point ever. Because I refuse to do it. I refuse to waste my time. I mean, he doubled down on it. He came back out and said, you did not just say to me that Jews are not trying to... And he goes, this guy said something about, here's a video of Steven Jackson talking about the Rothschilds owning all the banks. So he's going deep into the Bill Berger group. The Bill Berg group.
Oh, the Bilderberg?
Yeah, the Bill Berg group, as they said on Opie and Anthony. But yes, so he comes out and he throws, the Eagles wanted to fire Jackson, but didn't fire. First of all, how do you know they wanted to fire him? They want him fired to be gone, right?
Yeah. Okay. How it goes now.
So he's already made an assumption and presented it as fact. Constant listeners, see if this type of personality sounds familiar to you as one of the hosts on this show. He's already presented opinion as fact. And he goes, but didn't fire Riley Cooper for using the N-word. Once again, stop with the whataboutism. And he goes, I'm a fan of Minister Farrakhan. I know how to love the minister and how to love the Jewish people too. Really? Is that like the gay and lesbian chapter of the Klan? Like the Nation of Islam people who love Jews?
It's a new pastime that has emerged in the last few years. It's rationalizing bad behavior.
Okay, and so then someone replies, how can you be talking about the Jews? And he goes, the point is, you did not just say to me the Jews are not trying to divide the black community.
Where's your proof, buddy? Your opinion isn't proof.
You know that for a fact? You know who the Rothschilds are? They own all the banks. I ain't said one thing that's untrue yet.
Nice word choice, but I ain't said nothing that ain't true yet.
I don't even care about that. It's about this is. Are you serious?
He thinks this shit, so it is true.
This shit has permeated every aspect of life at this point.
Yep.
Sports, all of it. And I mean, someone has to go. I've said this on Unregimented. I think I've said it on here once or twice. I'll say it at least today. But I know I'm pissing into a fucking ceiling fan ultimately. Somebody's got to start gatekeeping. And to me, like, you pick a hill and you die on that hill. Nope. Take your bullshit, woke, flake nonsense the fuck on and go take a nap with your ass. Get the fuck out my face. You're not coming in here and you're not ruining my hobby or my fucking entertainment or my sports with your bullshit. Okay? We know how to police ourselves. Thank you. Keep walking. Because that's all you can do.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
If you look around, you'll see the world can be pretty smart. Okay, very smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. That's why we're reshaping online learning with our FlexPath format. You can set your own deadlines, take classes at your own pace, even leverage your previous experience to move faster. So when it comes to earning your bachelor's degree, you know what kind of choice to make. A smart one. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new. our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
It's a joke I've been making for the last few weeks, but I really do mean it, man. I can't wait to be a senior citizen. Everything's going to be perfect. Everything's going to be gender, income, racial inequality going to be gone. All our politicians are going to be perfect. Sports will be perfect. I'm reminded of another Dr. Cox quote from the much embattled season 9 of Scrubs. And I'm saying it to Generation Z and the millennials. Congratulations! I now expect more from you than I've ever expected from anyone ever. You guys are setting all these standards, and fuck you, I'm going to hold you to them. World better be a fucking utopia when I'm 65. You got 25 years. Let's go, assholes.
Fair point. I mean, because here's the thing: what more is being offered? What out of all the talking heads and all the articles that I've watched and read and listened to about this subject, like I said, 2-3 people have actually spoke to the heart of the matter and basically not dug their heels in and said, you should have fired that asshole, or he's got a right to say what he said, which is we are now literally the photo negative of where we were a month ago with Drew Brees.
Yep. But to be fair, Drew Brees did keep his job.
So far, Deshaun Jackson has.
Yeah.
I'm of the faith, man. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what Drew said. I don't care what Deshaun said. I don't care.
But see,
so the Jewish Americans are going to take over. Good for you in Farrakhan. Yay.
Well, wait a minute. Here's the thing. Which one is it? Does white supremacy run the world, or do the Jews run the world? Because even though Jewish is a religion, right? Mm-hmm. And for the sake of this discussion, white's a race. You can't help what race you're born, but you can convert to Judaism.
Well, Jewish is also a race of people.
From where?
Israel.
It's a religion.
No, it is.
It's a religion that was born in Israel. We don't say Christians are white.
No, but Jewish is an ethnicity as well. It's an ethnicity and a religion. Judaism is straight up.
Really?
Yeah.
So that can of worms has been open for how long? Like all your life? No, seriously, that you remember? I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not trying to be passive aggressive or sarcastic, because if that's the truth, I'm really shocked someone hasn't jumped in and said Muslims are a race. Because I know people that will say that's racist to say against Muslims. It's a religion. I guess I'm a bigot against a religion, but I'm a bigot against most religions. Any religion that doesn't evangelically leave me the fuck alone, I'm a bigot against. So, I mean, that's why I'm dead serious. I'm not trying to be a smart ass.
Yeah, no, Jewish people are people from Israel, or from, and then
they're Israeli. But can't you be an Israeli without being Jewish?
I'm trying to find the right article here.
I mean, on top of that, first of all, Jews got some weird shit about if your father's Jewish but your mother's not, you're not a real Jew. But if your mother's Jewish or something, like it's some weird shit like that. And I'm like, huh? What? Okay.
From jewishvirtuallibrary.org, Judaism, are Jews a nation or a religion? The first sentence is Judaism can be thought as being simultaneously a religion, a nationality, and a culture.
Again, who gives a flying fuck? I don't care if you're Jew, atheist, Christian, Baptist. I don't care. You affect me not at all. What Deshaun said affected me not at all.
That's your privilege talking. That's what they're going to tell you. See, once again, you're trying to deal with people who always are going to have an answer and retort and goalpost move on you.
And that's fine. I am privileged. I am an American, and I have the right to go. And so what?
See, that's what we did to religion. When people come up to you and go, "You don't believe in God?" No, you going to hell. Well, it would stand to reason that if I don't believe in God, I don't believe in hell. So that's like telling me that Santa Claus is going to ass rape me tonight. In fact, there's probably a higher probability of that happening because I've actually seen a Santa Claus before. I've never seen Jesus or God. So
yeah, you have. He's on every cross in the world.
No, that's Eric Clapton circa 1970, and I'm going to start a church called the Church of Eric Clapton circa 1970, and just use the current picture of Jesus they got, because it's got to be in the public domain by now. You know what I'm saying?
Or we have a really good friend circa 1998, 99.
Yes.
Like
all right, so Rich, we're both right. It says, is Judaism an ethnicity? In short, not anymore. Although Judaism arose out of a single ethnicity in the Middle East, there have always been conversions into and out of the religion. Thus, there are those who may have been ethnically part of the original group who are no longer part of Judaism, and those... But Judaism's the religion. So,
well, to me, that's like, okay, the first Christians were converted Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus was Jewish. I mean, if you believe that sort of thing. You know, so, I mean, like to me, I'm like, okay, so he's a Jewish Christian? Jews for Jesus? Isn't that a Mel Brooks skit? You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like one. Sounds like something was in the History of the World Part 1, which I'm sad we never got to see Part 2 with Jews in Space. Well, kind of. We saw its spiritual successor, Spaceballs.
It's true.
May the Schwartz be with you. Anyways, we've gotten way off the beaten path here. I agree with what you're saying, Earl, ultimately. But these are topics that are being talked about in the sports world. So now that we've established that ultimately you don't give a fuck.
It's because we don't have any sports. Somebody says Jew or black or kneeling, and everybody's like, okay, let's focus on that because we have nothing else to do.
I think you're right to a certain extent, but I think you're also just leaving out some stuff. Most of this country has been in some form of lockdown, whether it be you have enough money to where you just don't have to go to work, or you're collecting unemployment because you can't go to work, or you're going to work because, well, fuck it, you drew the short straw in life. And people are losing their minds because we don't have sports. What has Netflix been releasing as quick as they can fucking come out with them? Documentaries. They've been sitting on these documentaries. They're going to blow their load if this goes another 2 months, and there's going to be no new entertainment on Netflix. People are going to be watching people who make fucking shows on YouTube with an iPhone.
People are going to start making their own porn, putting it on YouTube.
Dude, I'm not bullshitting. 97, well, I mean, that's always kind of been a thing, hasn't it? I mean...
People are going to make more of their own porn.
Yeah, I welcome that. I mean, that's, hey, as long as you don't look like a polar bear trying to fuck a football, good. Put it out there. But, I mean, 97.1, the local sports station here, they've been simulating Tigers games as if the season's going on, and via MLB The Show 20, and showing the games on live stream on their Facebook page.
Whoa.
Yes.
That is scraping for content.
They have replayed all of the 84 World Series, all of the 68 World Series, all the playoff games up to the Tigers getting to the World Series, and the one game they won in 2006. They were swept in 2012, so they only played the playoff shit. They're playing all the playoff shit through 2013 now. They did it with the Red Wings and all their cup runs. I mean, this is what they're doing. There is nothing for anybody to focus on. So what happens? The shit that's happened the last 2 months in this country, it's a perfect storm. Now we got something to concentrate on. Now we up against the juices flowing, and we can get angry about and beat each other fucking against, beat up on each other about online. And this is the end result. But let's be honest, guys. People say people say dumb shit when the sports are on normally anyways.
Yeah. Well, speaking of sports coming back, right? We started talking about it at the top. I mean, I posed this question to you yesterday, Rich. Do we think, like, stuff like, at least like the NBA, where they're in their little bubble, right? Do we think they're just going to let the virus just run through these isolated people? Just let them get it? They're in good shape? Let them... Or because...
What happens when Popovich gets it?
Well, yeah, a podcast I keep listening to keeps talking about baseball. Like, they're taking, they want to take bets on like over under how many games you think they get in before they call the season. Like, I just wonder because the baseball schedule came out yesterday. Tigers are playing. Was it July 24th? They're playing the Reds in Cincinnati. Football training camp's supposed to start this month. Generally, NBA, everyone's supposed to start reporting to Orlando soon.
Well, I mean, you have certain teams who are just going, well, we don't give a fuck.
Well, and you've had people opting out too.
Well, no, yeah, I was gonna get to that, but I mean, like, you got my team, Tampa, who is now relevant because they got the ghost of Tom Brady, and hopefully half a good fucking liver out of Gronk.
Right?
Did have a year off. You could do some damage in a year.
Brady's got the best receiving core he's had probably since Randy Moss suited up.
And you know what he's been doing? He's been working them out. They're out there working with him, working with Gronk. He's having his fucking practices down there in Florida, and there's people throwing shit fits because they're like, well, the NFL said not to. And he goes, we're not doing it. This isn't an NFL-sanctioned practice. This is guys getting together and throwing the football around. Is that illegal? Because if it is, you better start going through a lot of parks in Florida because football's huge down there.
This is Tom, Chris, Mike, and Ron just working out, or Rob.
Dude, seriously. I totally forgot that he had Mike.
You forgot he had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin?
Yes.
Dude, he's going to be fucking ridiculous.
It's going to be
my
that,
dear God.
You know what's really going to be the telltale heart? It's going to be that offensive line because it is not a very strong one. I mean, I know Jameis, Captain Crab Leg, all blah, blah, blah. Jameis Winston took his lumps. But, I mean, he took...
Who's the running back?
I don't know. Off the top of my head. I'm not... Dude, I haven't paid attention to running backs like since Gruden was there because it seems like they just fucking... It's just a platoon of running backs.
Well, the last running back of note you had was Muscle Hamster, who couldn't stay healthy.
Mm-hmm. And before him, it was Cadillac and then Mike Allstott. That was their Cadillac was a all 3 down back. Muscle Hamster, he was a 3rd down back. He would play all 3 downs. To me, that's a running back. When you're sitting there swapping people out in different packages, and this guy got 10 touches and this guy got 11 and this guy got 12, you don't have a number 1 running back. You know what I'm saying? And to be brutally honest with you, with Bruce Arians as the coach and Tom Brady on that team, knowing how much he likes to throw the ball, like both of them men like to throw the ball, I think the running game is going to be like, it'll be nice if we have one.
Well, is that generally how it's been in New England for 20 years? Running back, maybe.
They're able to plug in people like Sony Michel and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we're going to say they have a couple of good ones.
Oh, remember, LeGarrette Blount won there from Tampa Bay, got his ring, came to the Lions, and then is he even in the league anymore?
No, I don't know. In fact, he got 2. He got one in New England
Eagles.
and in Philly.
Oh, that's
then
right.
Came to Detroit.
You're right.
Yeah, he was the Vince Lombardi trophy. He was the
Back
player.
to back
Just passed
years.
him around. Yeah.
They got 2 in a row, came here, and see you. That's generally how it goes.
But I think Tampa's going to be in a lot. If football is played, I think Tampa's going to be in a lot of high-scoring games that the defense is going to be like, just play adequately. Don't make mistakes. Don't get penalties called. Don't give them yards. Don't give them downs. And I am Tom fucking Brady. This is Gronk. We know how to do it. I mean, I'm sure at one point Brady will stand up if it need be and be like, I'm the best that's ever done this shit. I got my resume. Believe me. I'm like the convict who's done time before. I come in the yard hot with my paper ready to show you what I'm there for. I ain't ever diddled no children. That's right. I'm a shot caller.
Comes into his
You know what I'm saying?
comes into his first practice, hands everybody a 2020 sports almanac. Just look near the top. That's me.
So I think that's I hope for a 500 season. I really, if they play, I'm going to say this because eventually we will. If they start playing, we will talk about this. This is my expectations because, as I explained to Chris and Earl a few days ago, being a Bucks fan is just a cunt hair above being a Lions fan. We have a Super Bowl. That's it. Because we haven't won a playoff game since then. I mean, think about that.
Yeah, but you're definitely going this year.
I hope I mean, hey, I hope we win the Super Bowl. It would be nice to see any of my teams win one more championship before I die.
I mean, you have Tom Brady throwing to 2 number 1 receivers. I mean, Chris Godwin's a number 1 on any other team.
Yeah. And Mike Evans is, well.
Yeah. Once he gets going, took him a little while last year, but yeah, he's.
But see, getting back to what we were saying, are they going to end up playing football this year? Are they going to end up playing? I don't know, man, because college football is a completely different animal. And the Ivy League has already said, we're not playing football this season. Which I know a lot of people will joke and go, oh, okay, so, ooh. But let's be honest. How many people do you think are looking at a pro career coming out the Ivy Leagues?
Not many.
Why would they risk getting this shit, getting just nasty enough a case to where some of the fallout, the long-term effects, come back to bite them in the ass for something that it was like, I was doing this because I loved it, and I got a scholarship. And if they'll let me keep coming here without playing football, why don't I have to risk my life? You know, damage to my lungs, my kidneys, whatever they're saying. They're starting to say now that this shit may affect cognitive ability because they're noticing it in people who've had it. They're having psychotic breaks, which, I mean, maybe the whole country has it. And we're all having a psychotic break right now at the same time.
Have you seen 2020? I'm just saying.
Something. But, I mean, like, well, I agree. Okay. But here's what I'm waiting for. Because it's 2020, at least, Chris, I think you'll agree with me. I'm waiting for someone to go out and go, see, that's that privileged Ivy League white people shit. They don't have to play ball for massa.
Because they're not known to school. The last pro athlete I can name that came out of the Ivy League is fucking Fitzmagic. He went to Harvard.
I know there was a kicker in the last, since we've been on the show, because we talked about it. I mean, it was like just
Stanford Ivy League?
Yeah, technically, yes.
Oh, Richard Patrick.
But they're Pac-12. They're considered an Ivy League school, but
Richard Patrick. This guy from fucking. Richard Patrick's the guy from Filter.
That's racist. He said he's a white guy. Stanford, yeah, it's an Ivy League school, but it's I believe it's a Pac-12 as far as sports go.
Yeah, it's not the conference. Like that's. So you have conferences now bowing out. Okay, well, what are you going to do? You're going to double up on games? There's going to be 2 Michigan-Ohio State games? I mean, I don't want to take an ass whooping twice in 1 year.
But I do know
you know what? Fuck it. Just call the XFL and say, give us a couple of teams. We need to fill some slots.
I do know the last time we did this show, though, I believe they were talking about Alabama players. COVID was rolling through that team, and we're a month later. I haven't heard Saban cancel shit.
I mean, that is true. I think, like I said, I think what's going to happen is the attitude's going to be, let this run through the team until someone of some notice or importance, coaching-wise, athletic director, whoever the fuck, catches a case and gets really sick. Then I think they'll be like, wait a minute. I really do. I think that's what's going to happen in a lot of these leagues.
Just keep Uncle Urban away from the practice facility. You know he's got health problems. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
God damn it. It's so racist. I can't stand it anymore. You caught a case, you go to prison. You catch a case, you go to the hospital. Damn it.
What if the COVID gets Harbaugh? Oh, my God.
Well, Harbaugh made the intelligent statement of, I don't think playing football will really affect the spread of COVID. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
Thank you, Dr. Jim.
A bar in East Lansing, where MSU is at, opened up. In the span of a weekend, over 150 people tested positive by the next Wednesday that were in that bar.
Yeah, that bar's about to lock us fucking down again. I read that today.
Yeah,
the Detroit region got upgraded to medium high. Neat.
I'm gonna agree with Harbaugh. Playing football probably won't spread COVID. However, you play in a place called the fucking Big House that houses over 100,000 people.
Well,
that might cause the spread of a virus.
I don't think we're seeing any fans in anything that goes on this year.
There's teams that I cannot remember what team it was. Suffice to say, it was an NFL team. It might have been the Steelers. Basically, have a plan for, I'm talking like maybe 20% capacity. So basically, the big money season ticket holders, you know what I'm saying, will probably get, hey, if you pay the most, you get first shot. Do you want to come in and see the games? If so, here's your tickets. If that's what they do, I mean, they could have like only so many people coming in this entrance, so many people coming in this entrance, so many people coming in this entrance, cordon off the bowl into 4 separate areas. No more than, let's say, groups of 3-4 per row. Two groups of that. I mean, your average bench at a game, or you know what I'm saying, seating row at a game, that could
taking
work.
Temperatures.
Yeah, but then do you sell food? Do you sell booze? You know, it's like
that's where they're going to lose a lot on concessions. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like that's a given. I think. Remember when this shit first popped off, and a lot of athletes were like, "We're going to cover the concession workers." You know, so you had athletes come out saying that, even a few owners, and it was like, "Well, that's cool, but why?" Because they realized this ain't going to be done in 6 months.
Yeah.
If we're shutting everything down, this could cost them their livelihood. You know, so they're gonna force it. I believe no matter what, every league will. I think probably the first league to fold, if any of them are going to throw in a towel first, is going to be the NBA. And the reason is just football, hockey, yeah, you're sweating, there's contact, but it ain't like in the NBA. I mean, they're sweating all over the place. They're hitting, you know, up and down the court, bouncing off motherfuckers, setting up pick and rolls, blocks.
Their faces ain't covered.
No, and you really, you're going to put them out there in N95 masks? Yeah, okay. All right. They
dropped before the end of the first quarter.
That's just not happening. So, I mean, like, yeah. There's a difference between standing and operating for 5-6 hours wearing a mask and running up and down a court with professional athletes wearing a mask. I don't give a... And now at that point, I'll go, yeah, there's no point in them wearing a mask. They can't do their job. But I think that they'll probably be the first one. Baseball would probably be second. Hockey tied with baseball. Football's going to be the last. Pro football's going to be the last one to throw the towel in.
They're too much money.
Yes. What's going to be very interesting.
Make a lot of money? Nah.
We'll get to that.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Pro Extra is the Home Depot's free loyalty program built for pros. Members earn perks just for shopping, like new Pro Extra dollars or tool rental perks. Get exclusive benefits every day that save time and money. And here's an extra, $20 off your next in-store purchase of $200 or more, just for signing up. Want to save? Join Pro Extra, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Visit the Pro Desk in-store at HomeDepot.com/Pro Extra for details.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
What's going to be very interesting is, let's say they do get through a full season. Let's say they shorten the preseason to 2 games. They say your preseason roster, let's say you start at 75 instead of 90. So the 15 people you would have cut the first 2 games, boom, you don't have to worry about dealing with. Play a full 16-game season, no bye weeks, no weeks between playoff and Super Bowl, and this virus is still fucking going. Then we get to the fucking playoffs. Watching playoff games, nobody in the audience, or like 2,000 people. The Super Bowl with no one in the fucking stands, dude. It's going to be surreal.
It'd be weird.
Like, except for the fact that we know it's coming. Like, if we get to the point where they reach, like, the playoffs, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. They're going to be like, you teams, you didn't make the playoffs, go home. Everybody else, hey, you want a chance for that Lombardi trophy? And football players are crazy. One thing that at least half the team says after every Super Bowl, can't take this from me. You can take everything from me. Can't take this from me. You don't really hear that in other sports. Not to the extent you do in football. So I think they'll do it. And it's going to be like watching 9/11, except we know it's coming. In the aspect of, is this really happening? Did a plane just fly into the World Trade Center? Are we watching the Super Bowl with nobody in this motherfucker? Like the halftime show comes out and Britney shaking her ass for nobody?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, who's watching the halftime show? Halftime show. Just make it a regular halftime. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Janet Jackson's titties pop out and everybody cricket.
well, probably wouldn't even be at the same location. I mean, the way things are right now, probably be from like some a sound stage, a separate location. Here you go.
Oh yeah, well definitely.
And I bet you then no one in the stands. Bet you that bitch turns into a pay-per-view. Yeah, you can watch Super Bowl for $20
Oh yeah, that's dude. That's I was going to bring that up. That's what I'm afraid of as far as NFL's business model. Is they're going to realize no asses in the seats. These are junkies. We can charge them.
Yeah.
And what I'm afraid of is
that would be so bad idea for them.
Well, here's the deal. They're going to have to either raise the price of the Sunday ticket and then offer a local package for your local team or the team you want at a reduced price, or they're going to have to keep the price of the Sunday ticket. I said raise it the first time, right? They're going to have to raise it or keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? That's going to set the bar. If they raise it, it's never coming back down. I don't care not to where it was. I don't care what they say. I don't care. Next year, if there's a vaccine, 100% cure, you're not going to get it. We'll go back down. Yeah, you'll go back down, but just like gas prices. Unless this shit happens again, you ain't going all the way back down. You're just not. Because it's the NFL. And then I'm worried that this will become a business model for them, period. Oh, who's your team? Do you want to just watch them week in, week out? Well, here, what's the Sunday ticket cost?
Isn't it something like $300? Something like
I think it's $199.
Oh, they'll definitely raise that this season. They have to. They can't give everybody every game for fucking $200.
I'm telling you, though, it's a bad idea. I understand the necessity behind it, Rich. I do. But in today's society, bad. Everybody's finding every reason to, quote, boycott the NFL. Yeah, race, toxic masculinity, hazard to your health.
Do you notice it's not affecting their ratings? Didn't last season.
Yeah, it did.
Earl, okay.
They what? Yeah, their ratings went up from the previous season. So, yeah, you're right.
Okay, it's a scenario. You came up with a scenario. But, dude, real football fans, real NFL fans, they're not going to give a fuck. They're going to pay for it. These people are going to get upset about what? What exactly? How dare you offer these people who want your product a product? What is there to attack about that? Oh, they're charging for a product? No, they hate football. They want to destroy football. They don't want to. They're not going to say give your product away. That's where I'm like, how do you even come to these conclusions?
Plus, we're in a society where we're used to paying for that. All the services that are out there now. So you make it the right price. It's just another $10 a month somebody's paying.
And football is.
I'm with you. I'm just thinking of the mindset right now of everybody in this country. The protesting, the rioting, the looting,
they can
all
say
of that.
Boycott all this all they want, but the numbers bore out. Last year's ratings went up. So
fans of football are not going to stop watching football because people are upset that they're watching football. That's all there's to that. Did we?
Right, but
did any of us stop?
If you're going to try to charge them for it, I just think it would sway the people on the fence to be like, all right, then fuck you. I ain't watching shit.
The NFL's like, okay, bye. We'll see you when we go back to our free model or whatever. They just, look, they're hemorrhaging money compared to what they're usually doing right now as we speak. To them, they're hemorrhaging money. And by the way, these are people who are like, damn, I only made $100,000 today off my football team, whereas usually I make $1 million a day off my football team. Damn. Like, for us, we're like, I'll take your $100,000. Can I take one day of what your football team makes? I'll take it right now.
But they ain't that bad. They're not cutting. Everyone's still taking a full salary, as far as I know.
Well, also NFL pays only game day checks. You get 16 game day checks. That's how your salaries broke up. And that 30 for 30 broke. That was one of the things that a lot of people who are just football fans but don't know about the inner workings of sports were like, what? Yeah. So if you get suspended for a game, that could be a healthy chunk of your paycheck for the year. And if you don't know how to wisely spread out your money and invest it, that's why you see halfway, at the halfway point in the offseason, guys, you go on eBay, there's a lot of championship rings up for sale. So, I mean, that's how it is, man. So if that's the case, the players don't want to, unless they got money like fucking just Scrooge McDuck, they don't want to back out.
You know who really don't want to back out? Patrick Mahomes. That motherfucker. $503 million. That is so he just made generational wealth.
Isn't that more than like the yearly like gross that some states make? Like Rhode Island or some shit like that.
It's probably more than some countries make.
You start getting off into the the lower third, fourth of countries on this planet. Oh, for sure. He could show up and be like, I'd like that country, please. Thank you. Can you put a bow tie on it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, but good on him, man. I mean, he delivered in his rookie contract. So this is what happens when you do that, right?
No, that's not what happens. Looking at Russell Wilson.
Didn't he have like the biggest contract in the league last year when he signed? Until someone else beat him out? Russell got paid.
We were talking about Kirk Cousins being the big one and Matt Stafford being a big one and the highest paid and everything. We didn't say shit about Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we did, man. I'd really recall his contract being quite historic when he got it. Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? 4-year extension.
$35 million a year.
Yeah, $87.6 million. Russell got paid.
$87 million. Woo-hoo. $500 million, Chris.
For what? 1/3? A little bit over 1/3 of the time, no? And dude, come on, dude, you're not this fucking obtuse. Stop, man. Stop. This really makes doing this show like a bummer sometimes. You know that every time a fucking quarterback or pitcher or batter gets the biggest contract, the countdown starts to the next biggest contract. Goddamn, Matt Stafford was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL for a minute. Come on, man. Stop acting like you don't know this shit.
Dude, it's not that I don't know this shit. I'm just saying my man made $500 million, billion with a B, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And he'll be what? 32, 33 when the contract's up?
Right.
So, I mean, if he doesn't just fuck up, he could probably tack another 100, 110 million on there easy. I mean, as long as if he plays to, let's say, 37, by the 10 years from now, for a former Super Bowl winning quarterback, yeah, give him 110 million for 5 years. They'll do it in a heartbeat. There's teams out there that'll do it just to get asses in the seats. I mean, but this does bring this subject up. Countdown clock started. Who's the next one? Who's the next big free agent that's coming up that's going to get that bigger contract than that?
I'm trying to think if somebody's worth it.
That's where I'm at. I'm looking. I'm like, no.
Mm-mm. You got to do two things. You got to look at it. One as when you're trying to answer the question, are they worth it? And then take that and then crumple it up and throw it away because it doesn't matter. Someone's going to get it whether they're worth it or not. That's the point. What's Lamar Jackson's contract status? He can't be the one to break that, right?
No, he is. He is in his rookie contract.
Oh shit! He wins a Super Bowl, gets him to a Super Bowl. I don't think he'll get the years, but he might get more money per year.
Well, he's got to do it this season. This would be his third season at your rookie.
And he has to beat Patrick Mahomes.
I thought rookie contracts were 3 seasons with an option for a fourth, team option for a fourth. Like that's the Like I thought since they went to a standard contract where you could only max out, or you can max out a rookie contract, and that's it. But that was how they did that. Or
It's possible. I don't. 3 is sticking in my head for some reason.
it is with mine too. But I know that this shit with Dak, he ain't gonna get that fucking money. No way. Because if the Cowboys were going to give him that money, they'd have gave it to him already. Unless you think maybe Mahomes and Dak are like, their agents are like, wait till one of them signs and we can use that as leverage. But Dak must be feeling really good about his off-season workouts if he thinks he's going to get more money than that.
Right. Contracts for drafted rookies are set at 4 years. Undrafted rookies receive 3-year contracts. 5th-year option got a makeover under the new CBA.
Okay.
So, low column A, low column B.
Gotcha. This is why we're half-ass sports fans. Yeah. We'll throw out all the facts. You have to assemble them.
Yes.
Some assembly is required with this podcast. Well, still, man. I ain't mad at him for getting his fucking money. Do it, dude. Because if someone's willing to pay you that much, that means someone's probably making 20 times that off you.
Yeah, and he'll be the mayor of Kansas City for the next decade.
Anybody who grew up out there, he's not transplant, and he's like, dude, he was born after the Colts won their Super Bowl. The one back in the late '60s, early '70s, whatever it was. I think Hank Stram was the coach. Mr. Dapper Dan over on the side with his suit on. Well, everybody wore a suit back in the day then. But he's like, I missed it by like 5-6 years. So I've never known a Super Bowl team. I was like, how drunk you get? He's like, I don't know. It's 2 days later, and I was still pretty fucking like, oof.
He's like, I'm still drunk right now.
This is rough. Like, I'm like, really? He's like, oh, I was drunk well into the next day, and I didn't keep drinking. Like, okay, so you partied. So it's a big deal, man. And Earl, there's got to be Chiefs fans out by you, right? Yep, sure they were fucking having a good old time.
Earl's in a weird spot because Dallas fans start showing up. You start driving south of where Earl lives.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't give a fuck how hard Kansas City partied. If the Lions ever win the Super Bowl, I'm leaving the state for like a week,
Detroit
maybe
will
2.
Burn to the ground.
Yeah, we're going to be doing the show live from fucking Ice's house.
Yeah, live from Montana, from our compound.
Because, man, there's some championship star football fans out here. I'll tell you something. Whew.
You know, it's probably to the point where if Michigan won a national championship, I'd worry about Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor?
It's been there 20 years, or it's been over 20 years. The last time Michigan won a national championship, they had to share. I graduated high school.
Listen to that dig. Listen to that dig. That you got to just slide it at the head of share. And fuck you, man.
Well, no, it was more. No, it's more.
When's your last national championships party?
60 something.
Without looking it up. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, no, it was more a dig at Nebraska because wasn't it like a pity championship for Nebraska because it was like their coach's last year and he'd been there for like 30 years.
It was right before they went to the FBS. I think it was still based on the AP and coaches poll, and that's where you get split championships. I think that
it was like getting a pity blow job. Is how I looked at it.
I think Michigan was one in the AP poll, and Nebraska was one in the coaches poll, which would probably be like let's give them a nice send off. It's like, man, fuck you. But it's happened before. I think it happened in Miami one year.
Yeah, it was kind of like
back in the day.
All right, you bought me dinner. I'll blow you, I guess. That's how it came across with their championship. And trust me, as much as I love to dig against Michigan, I totally think that Michigan should not have shared that championship. But it is what it is. And you had to share it. Oh, well.
But anyways, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, look. It's going to be interesting to see how a lot of these contracts. Jadeveon Clowney isn't signed, and apparently he's looking for like life-changing money. And I'm like,
homie, you got to stay healthy.
You know what I'm saying?
Money.
Yeah. 9.5 sacks his rookie season, 9 sacks this next season, and then a massive drop off. Yeah, he's a 3-time player. He's not a dog. He's not a bust, but I mean, like, you want life-changing money on this contract? Like, I'm wondering if there's a team that's just sitting around like the Patriots were with Cam Newton. Thank you, Newton. Oh, Jesus Christ, I almost said. Anyway, somebody else that plays hockey. Anyways,
I knew where he was going.
No, not Cam Ward.
Cam Neely.
Cam Neely. Thank you. But anyways, yeah, like the Patriots didn't sit back and be like, okay, let's see if the cards fall right. And they did, and they got him for a steal. Maybe there's a couple teams sitting around going, all right, no one ain't snapped you up yet. You're kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we can get you for like 2-year contract, $6 million.
Did Carolina sign somebody and I forgot? Or are they riding out the white boy they had last year?
I think they're riding out the white boy.
The NFC South has been a fucking carousel this offseason. It is okay. I know you got Breeze, Brady.
Oh no, they shit canned whoever. I didn't forget his name. No, it's according to the Google. No, that was Jacksonville. According to the Google, the Carolina Panthers quarterbacks are Teddy Bridgewater, Will Grier, and Philip Walker.
Bridgewater,
oh,
yes.
That's right. Bridgewater from Saints.
Yep. That's why I said carousel. You throw Tom Brady in the mix, and everybody just like change over. You know, it's like, all right. I can't even. Dude, everything has been going on in the offseason. I really haven't been paying attention, like exactly where all the moves have been, because up until recently, I wasn't really convinced there was going to be any sports this fall. And now that we have the shit going on in the southern part of the country, we do.
I've been cleared to go. I'm supposed to go to Mississippi in a week and a half. I am not thrilled. I'm heading to the Gulf. I'm just preparing to get COVID. Well, fuck it. Guess it's my turn.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I did when I worked through the lockdown. I was just like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how bad.
They're doing it, but they're researching it county by county. So I guess the county I want to go to isn't that bad. But I guess I can't go anywhere near Montgomery, Alabama for a while.
Oh, I bet.
So anyway, yeah, but I mean, we're here. Florida's blowing up, right? We don't hear about Tommy getting the COVID. None of that. We haven't really heard about any NFL player. I mean, we heard what? Von Miller got it in the offseason.
I think it's been, to be brutally honest, I think it's because they're testing college football players more than they're testing pro football players at the moment. I think once training camp starts ramping up and they start doing, maybe if they're smart, they'll start testing like a week out. Give them a test on okay, if training camp's the Monday, let's say today's Monday, training camp's in a week. Give them a test that Monday, give them a test that Friday, give them a test, the day they walk in. Check and track their temperatures, symptoms. If you're sick, isolate yourself. We'll see you in 2 weeks. If you're one of those bubble players, hey man, sorry, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Life ain't fair. You got to go home. You're not cutting Tom Brady because you got COVID, or might have COVID, but you're definitely cutting a walk on. And that's just how it's going. Life's rough, man. It's a contact sport. You don't want to get hit. Don't get off the bench. I mean, it's just, and this is a business. That's how they're going to be looked at. So. It's going to be different. Where do you guys stand on them piping in like crowd noises, like through the broadcast, not at the site, but through the broadcast?
Oh, you mean like they're doing with Bill Maher, like how they give him that canned audience?
Kind of, but I mean, I
like
guess
a laugh track and clapping and shit.
I guess, but I think that what some soccer league, I think it's a German league, is actually using like FIFA crowd noises from the video games.
To me, it makes more sense to pipe it onto the field because those dudes are used to that shit. Like, it really wouldn't bother me at home. I'd look at this as an opportunity to hear what these motherfuckers really say to each other.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah, but that's going to last maybe half of a first quarter, the first preseason game being broadcast, and then they're going to be like, kill the mics.
Now.
Dude, that's what I was saying about baseball games. If you've ever been to a national to a major league ballpark that's got less than 5,000 people in it, I have. I've been to Tigers games that there was a 3-4 hour rain delay, and when the game started back up, it was the end of the season, so they had to get the game in for the standings. Literally, there was like less than 3,000 people at this place. I could hear them, the third base coach, talking to the player when they got to third. It was surreal. It was really strange. So, I mean, like, and it's some of the shit I heard, I was like, oh, boy, I bet you they cut the mics at home. They cut the mics potted down. Because, I mean, someone missed a fucking ball. God damn it, motherfucker. Like, clear as day, man. So, it might be the only choice. Might be the only choice they have.
A lot of Joe Buck apologies coming this year. Which I was trying to tell him, like, I know he's a pro and all that, and I'm just a guy, and but Joe, don't call attention to it. Whenever he does that shit, like, now everybody knows. People could be like, did he just say? And then people would go on about their game. And you just call attention to it when you apologize for it, Joe. Now you got a motherfucker hitting, in the age of the DVR going, oh shit, he did say that.
Yup. Hit the whoop back 30 seconds. Yeah, that's why your mother's a cocksucking bitch. Yeah. What? Actually, Earl, you remember watching some of those Probert fight tapes I used to have?
Mm-hmm.
And remember when fights would break out behind the net when they first started putting mics there and they hadn't figured out what was going on, and you clear as day, it's a 1-2 shot. You see Probert's face, and they're breaking up the scuffle, and then they cut to the other fighter's face. I can't remember who he was. Shit, I can't remember who he was. But anyways, he said something like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself." And then they cut back to Probert, and he clear as day, and you can read his lips and hear him clear as day go, "No, I'd rather just fuck your mother again." And all of a sudden, just whoop, the volume went down on those mics, and they were like, just some heated discussion on the ice here. What do you think about that, Mick? Oh, that's the good stuff. Katie, bar the door. Just like. So, I mean, you have to watch it because eventually the FCC will step in, right?
Well, I was thinking if they're going to do that and not have crowd noise and have hot mics on the field and shit, there's going to be a room somewhere with a bunch of video screens and like 10 sensors with their a hand on a button and ready to go.
Well, a lot of people don't know this. The problem with a 7-second delay is it's a dump button. You're dumping the live feed and you have to let it catch back up. So if it's a scrum and it's a constant stream of it and you just got to keep your finger on the dump button, you might as well not play it, man. You really might as well not. Haven't you ever listened to a live call-in show on the radio and someone cusses and all of a sudden it skips? It's like a CD skipping and they're like, okay, anyways, okay, wait till the delay catches up so we can take the next caller. Yeah, he got a little excited there. All right, delay caught up? Okay, next caller, blah, 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 blah. Happens all the time, man. So you can't really dump it because then you might as well not have the sound anyways. I think what they're going to probably do is fucking do crowd noises for the people at home, which means, God damn it, we need to find the worst team at the end of the year and then go buy tickets and sit in a fucking empty stadium and listen to them cuss at each other and shit.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. As a professional painter, you know your customers want a flat finish, but don't want to pay the price of fighting dirt, grime, and scuffs. Use new Behr Ultra Scuff Defense from the Home Depot for a beautiful flat finish plus stain and scuff defense. And that price starts at just $29.60 a gallon. And that's before the Pro Extra discount. A flat paint that's too tough to scuff. Behr Ultra Scuff Defense. Only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Available online and in select stores. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
We're on football, so we're finally going to solve this racism thing and change the Redskins' name, among other things.
Sure.
Cricket.
Yeah, hold on. Here's our reaction as a podcast.
I mean, we knew it was coming eventually in our lifetimes. We've talked about it before, and it's just the dominoes are falling once again. Thank God for the NHL.
Wait. I'm not being facetious. Rich, explain this to someone like me. How the fuck is Redskins racist?
I don't know. When this first popped off 5 years ago, we did a segment about it on Unregimented, and I did a really deep dive into researching where the nickname comes from. And the best I could find is a tribe local to that area of the country, or located in that area of the country, used to paint themselves red and then run into battle. So I mean, like you're the other tribe, and you're sitting there, and you just see all of a sudden a tribe of people coming, looking like they're covered in blood, screaming like maniacs, running down a hill full speed at you.
Kind of creepy.
Pretty fucking intimidating. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the term come from. I think because probably there was contact with that tribe that had did that, they probably got the nickname Redskins. Then it probably became a derogatory term at some point, something that people who don't like Native Americans used. But I highly doubt the Washington fucking football team, when they were looking for a name, was like, let's find a racially offensive name. They probably just like, well, where's the name Redskins come from? Someone told them, and they're like, well, that sounds all right. That sounds pretty fucking evil. Fierce.
Hell yeah.
Washington Wetbacks? No. Washington N-words? No. Washington Kikes? No. Redskins? Yeah, that's how the meeting went down.
But see, that's how some people have you believe it, and it's like, just stop. It's not realistic. You're being a child. You're being a child because right now in society, throwing a temper tantrum and expecting the world to change immediately for you because of your temper tantrum is working. It is happening.
Yeah, the mob is in charge.
Yes.
Another podcast I listened to brought this up. Now, Cleveland Indians, I get Chief Wahoo, all right? It's like a little red Sambo, right? Let's be honest. But the name Indians, right? Columbus was wrong, so what the fuck are we mad about?
How many times have we said on Unregimented, how the fuck has the media in this country and the educated people in this country, why are they not pointing out constantly that Indian is a misnomer?
Yeah. If it's a misnomer, what the fuck are we offended about?
You're not in India. So, yeah.
The intention, that's what they're mad about.
What if it was like, what if their mascot turned into like Aziz Ansari? Would it then be empowering?
Well, I mean, some entrepreneurial gentleman, when this subject came up last time, Bomani Jones had a shirt made up that said Caucasians with a smiling, green-eyed. I think he missed an opportunity because I don't know many green-eyed white people.
Come on, blue eyes, asshole.
Blue eyes, blonde hair, no lips, big-ass Tony Robbins teeth. Pretty much all that except for green eyes. And I think it backfired. I think he wore it on ESPN to make a point, and everybody I know that saw it was like, "That's awesome."
Yeah, I'm saying that is hilarious. I would want to own that shirt.
And see, this is where we're at now in society. This is our privilege talking. You're allowed not to be offended by that because no, you're white, you're in control. Race plus power equals racism. This is in their minds. This is the arguments they use.
Show you my pay stubs. I ain't in control of shit.
Right? But this is the arguments that's used. So that's your privilege talking. Of course you're not offended. Why would you be offended? If you just won the World Series and someone yelled, "You suck," would you care?
No, I won the World Series, bitch.
That's how that's how the people who are going to go.
I just made their point. Damn it.
Yeah, see? It's kind of ingenious because these people, just like religious zealots, religious zealots, when you ask them a question, they can't answer it. They go, "I don't know. God works in mysterious ways." There's never any "I don't know" in the cult of woke. You always have an answer. You always have a comeback. If they give you an inch, you push for fucking 11 more because you want a foot. You never stop pushing and attacking. And when they do say something that rattles you, instead of going, "I don't know, God works in mysterious ways," you change the subject just slightly. you start attacking them. That's your privilege talking. Okay, and everybody will tell you, well, not everybody, but a lot of people tell you privilege. No, that's not supposed to. We don't mean it like that. Call a woman privileged who calls you a privileged white male and see if she don't jump up out her seat just as quick as her fucking diabetic knees will let her fat ass get up out that seat and tell you she ain't got no privilege. I'm a woman. Wait a minute. If there's nothing to be upset about, why are you upset? This is the world we live in. This is why this was inevitable. 5 years ago, I thought it would take 20 years. It took 5.
All right, so
I always come back
let's
to
be clear
privilege
then.
is something that be taken away. You can't take
So
away me
the
being white.
Redskins isn't racist.
It is apparently to certain Native Americans who find the term redskin racist because apparently people use redskin as a racial slur against Native Americans at some point in history. I don't know. I'm not omnipotent. I haven't been there in all points in history. But apparently these people have a time machine or a DeLorean that does 88 miles per hour because they can go back and for a fact say that, yep, this is pure white supremacy that this come out of.
Now, didn't the Blackhawks come out and say, yeah, we ain't changing shit?
We ain't changing shit. Thank you, hockey. Thank you. Because first of all,
neither is
Blackhawks,
Cleveland, right?
Blackhawk is a chief, and they talk to the tribe. If you notice, look at the Cleveland Indians logo, Chief Wahoo, from back in the day. Then go back and look at Chicago Blackhawks logo from back in the day. Their logo's always been the same. It's not some meh version of a Native American. It's just a profile shot of he even has a slight grin on his face, but not like stupid dopey ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like something you'd see on, I don't know, a quarter, a penny, a dime, a nickel.
The dude looks like evil. He looks like I'm about to shoot you with this arrow.
Well, now you're proving their point for him. Thank you.
Well, you're a Wings fan, all right? You have a predisposition to hate the Blackhawks.
Was a Blackhawks fan through and through because they had Eddie Belfour.
Ed Belfour.
I own the logo chilling in my closet right now. I can stare at it.
Well, you're canceled.
No, I'm with them because Probert went to the Blackhawks. Those are the only two teams, Red Wings and Blackhawks. So I'm right with them. I'm like, yeah. I know exactly what that logo looks like because I've worn many a jersey that says Probert on the back and has that on the front. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the only Blackhawks jersey I'd ever wear.
Look though, if anything, okay, Florida State Seminoles, kind of a similar logo.
But the local tribe, they said they're fine with it.
But here's my point though, Chris. All of these teams are trying to celebrate the Indian, the Native American, if you will, legacy, the strong, the proud, the fierce.
Not anymore.
They're not going, okay, for example, Washington isn't going, we're the Washington Blacks. They're not the Washington niggers need to change to the Washington Blacks.
Well,
saying.
First of all, it's New Zealand that has the team named All Blacks. And yeah, it is that type of blacks. Second of all, it's a rugby team. Second of all, if I'm, who is the owner, the primary owner of the Redskins?
Dan Snyder.
Dan Schneider. I was going to say Dan Gilbert, but that's fucking homeboy up here. Dan Schneider.
I was going to say Joe Gibbs, but okay.
If I'm Dan Schneider, I'd almost be like, okay, so should I change it to something? Because you say this is offensive, right? It's a stereotype. Yep. Okay. The Washington casino owners.
No, the Washington Pink Panthers.
No, stop. The Washington casino owners. If that's a lie, tell me I'm lying. Because you're upset because this is an inaccurate representation, right? That's what you're saying. You're saying that never in the history of any Native American has this ever happened or ever been relevant. And it's impossible, even if for a split second that did happen, that a white man could be honest about it. Cool. Then this white man's being honest about what I know about Native Americans. Washington casino owners.
Yeah. Is this more accurate representation for you?
Do you like that? I mean, okay. And then there's this call for Notre Dame to change the Fighting Irish. And I just laugh my ass off because I'm like, what? Look, I'm a plastic patty. Meaning I literally don't come from the island, but what self-respecting Irishman or person of Irish descent is going to stand up and be like, I'm offended by that. Because the rest of the Irish people are going to go, sit your drunk ass down, okay? Like, we're not going to have it. And we're going to be like, shut the fuck up, man. We got Notre Dame. We got Rudy. Don't take that from us. We got the Shamrock.
I
We
give you
got the
something to be
Leprechaun.
offended about.
We got touchdown Jesus. Like, we got the New York Police Department. That's really all we have. Like, stop trying to take shit from us. New York Fire Department too. A lot of mix in there, but dude, it's gotten ridiculous. And
Animals
I'm glad
are next, man. Animals are next.
It's already happened. Already happened. I'm not even joking.
You can't name your team after an animal.
Well, PETA started because it always starts with something. Like I have a buddy who's thinking on this, is that this latest round of woke flake nonsense, this mixture of all these dystopian novels and movies we've read and watched over the years that we're living in.
Yeah.
It all started with, you have to make the gay couple the cake. The law says so. And it's like, I can trace PETA's shit with animal mascots back to college football teams who have live mascots. Well, that's inhumane. They look horrible. They don't look happy. Blah, 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 blah. Really? Really, dog whisperer?
Well, yeah, you showed me that thing with the UGA mascot. That dog probably lives a life better than half the incoming freshmen.
I can tell you that the Marine Corps bulldog certainly lives a pretty damn good life. I know that for a fact. I knew enough.
Better than the fucking Marines.
You damn right, especially the fucking grunts. That's no bullshit. I knew Marines who were like, "Oh, that dog has got it well." Believe me.
I bet you that dog at UGA has never tried ramen. I bet you that one.
I was talking to my buddy, Dr. Doolittle, and he was telling me that the Wolverine has a problem with the big M.
God. Well, tell that Wolverine to come. I know, right? I could strap that joke on my body and run through Palestine. But, okay, so then tell the Wolverine to come down from fucking Canada and come do something about it. I don't give a fuck. But, dude, Spartans used to fuck their own kids in the ass. That's not even conjecture. That's not speculation. That's not hating on the Spartans. That's historical fact.
So too close to Dr. Nasser there, Rich.
They'd leave newborn babies out in exposure. And if they lived, okay, next phase of your Spartan training. And part of it was getting butt fucked by adults all through your childhood.
I mean, it's in the climate we're in now. I gotta ask, what's a Tar Heel?
I think a Tar Heel is a type of like what? Because they're
better be a plant.
It's a ram or a goat, right?
It's a ram, I think.
It's a type of ram that probably has black hooves. So it's probably nicknamed a Tar Heel because I think their mascot is like a ram or a goat or some shit.
Yeah, it is.
Their logo is a foot with a black circle on the heel. As I have Googled Tar Heel.
What? College football?
Google Tar Heel.
College ball, period?
It says Tar Heel is a nickname applied to the U.S. state of North Carolina. It's also the nickname of the University of North Carolina. But it's a foot. It's got a black circle on the heel.
Also, Tar Heels explains when the state was a leading producer of supplies of the naval industry, they called themselves Tar Heels, an expression of state pride. Others adopted the term in North Carolina, widely became known as the Tar Heel state.
It's tar and down south.
For nearly 70 years of the mascot of North Carolina's football team has been a ram. Since Carolina's nickname is Tar Heels, it might seem strange to have a ram as a mascot. It is, but there is a good explanation. And then they don't bother to explain it.
Okay, here. North Carolina, the state was a leading producer of supplies for the workers who distilled turpentine from the sticky sap of pine trees and burned pine boughs to produce tar, and pitch often went barefoot. Okay, so it's about people that actually got tar on there. Okay, gotcha. I was like, oh god, this can't be.
If it had something to do with what was it, Brer Rabbit?
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is down south and tar. I'm like, oh Jesus, how have we not thought of this yet?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I'm just waiting for some college that we've never heard of to be like, wait, there's an Orlando Uncle Remus?
Yeah.
Who named their fucking team Uncle Remus? Like, even Earl's like, man, come on, bro. That's a bridge too far. Come on, man. You can't do that. But no, I mean, I'm glad. Good for the Blackhawks. Stand up for them, because I don't know if this is true or not. I didn't sit in on any meetings. I know nothing more than I read on the internet and in articles that I've looked up about the situation with the Chicago Blackhawks. Apparently, they have the blessing of whatever tribe this leader was in.
Yeah, same thing with the.
And to me, it's like if he's from your tribe and he's your leader, and you say do it, and a white person goes, I'm offended on their behalf, then go talk to them, because I'm too busy about to print this fucking jersey up, and they can tell you why you're an asshole.
The local Seminole tribe in Gainesville has no problem with no, that's the Gators. Wherever Florida State is, they have no problem with it.
Yeah.
Well, even in Michigan, though, even if the tribe doesn't have a problem with it, doesn't matter. What was our local example? Was Eastern Michigan University? They were the Hurons, right? And they changed their name, and the local tribe was like, "No, don't change it. We feel honored." And Whitey went, "Nah, we're changing it anyway."
Well,
yeah, that's the Huron band of the Potawatomi.
Yeah, so now they're the Eagles or fucking whatever they are.
Yeah, Eagles, you're right. And then, Central's still the Chippewas. We'll see how long that lasts. I mean, now, look, man, here's, like, apparently the names that are on the chopping block are the Redskins, and we know this because you have Walmart, Target, NFL.com, a few other chain stores that are just like, nope, Dick's Sporting Goods, we're not selling any more of their gear.
But you know what I said to all those people? Fuck you. Now you care? This shit started in 2012. 8 years later, you all of a sudden care? It's hollow and fake to me, but whatever. Like I said, the Bob's running the show.
But see, now the deal with the Cleveland Indians is where I start to go, this is the slippery slope I worry about. Because Cleveland's already changed their logo. Cleveland's logo used to be Chief Wahoo. Then it was just Indians. Now I believe, except for their third jersey, it's Cleveland.
Yeah, it's just the C on their cap.
The C on their cap, yeah. And then, no, I think they're home jerseys. Either home or, anyways, home or away, only one of them has Indians on it. And it's like, is that really that offensive? I mean, like we said, it's a misnomer, first of all. But we've already decided as a country, the vast majority of people making a noise, that context and intent do not matter. So we're past that. They changed their logo. The crowd shut up. Now here comes probably not even the same crowd, probably the younger brothers and sisters of that crowd, maybe even their children. Now, you can't be the Indians. Really? To the point where, their own head coach or their manager comes out and is like, I think it's time to change the name. And you know what it is? They just don't want to hear it. They don't want the distraction of the shit, especially if they think they have a chance to do anything this season. There's already enough distractions in the sports world.
I had thought today, you know where I think we're heading? No more mascots. It's just going to be Cleveland, Detroit, New York, Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? Like that might just be where we, you know what? Fuck mascots. It's the Cleveland basketball team. It's the Detroit baseball team. It's the New York football team.
If that's the case, then I thought it would take 20 years from 2000. Well, yeah, I thought it'd take 20 years from 2016 for a lot of this shit to happen in the sports world that we've talked about since we've been on the air. I was wrong.
It's been
by a lot. Yeah. So how long until you think that actually, like, realistically could happen with today's climate?
I said 20. Maybe I'll cut it in half. 10.
10?
Maybe by the time we're all 50.
That's 7 years.
With today's climate? No.
See, the only thing I can if your name has anything dodgy about it whatsoever, okay, there's going to be a target pasted on you by the outrage woke flakes.
White Sox, it's good to know you.
But they can't go back to the Black Sox because of the Black Sox scandal. And let's be honest, why are you the Black Sox? Why is the opposite? You know what I'm saying? Like some non-nerd ass fucking reject who grew up on the Big Bang Theory is going to sit and write a fucking thesis on why it's unconscious bias that we went from Black Sox to White Sox and now back to Black Sox. They're just trying to placate the black rate. Okay, dude. What do you do at that point? At that point, you just go, fuck you. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think if PETA starts their shit up and they try that shit, I think enough people look at PETA and go, fuck you, I like meat, I like leather, I like the Detroit Tigers. Eat my asshole. And I mean, tongue fucked the motherfucker after I just drank a dirty 30 and ate a Busch Light and ate a Crave case of fucking jalapeno cheddar sliders and ain't wiped. Fuck you.
Oh.
You're not, no. We're done.
You ready for this?
What's up?
Isn't Yankee a Civil War term? Ooh.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, if you're talking about today's society, that's where I was heading.
I tried to explain that to years and years and years ago when I first started on it's my first day. When I first started on the internet, I tried to explain that to people from Europe and other countries who would throw that around as an insult to us. And I said, you know who you're aligning yourself with by calling us all Yankees, right? And they're like, damn Yanks. And I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. You can shorten it up, whatever. It's like calling a Pakistani a Paki. That's a big insult. Well, calling, people Yankees and Yanks, go down south, there's a whole lot of people still fighting the Civil War in their head.
Hey, man, I just got my new group of people I've had for 3 weeks. I've been called Yank 100 fucking times already.
Mm-hmm. You're aligning yourself with the rednecks that you hate the most in this country. The people that you try to paint with that broad brush are everybody in this country is a redneck. Everybody in this country fucks their cousin. No one in this country marries outside their bloodline. No, that's your royal family, first of all. And then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so on and so forth. You just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't care what you said during World War II. This goes back to the Civil War. Now, if they can't accept that and they still insist on calling us Yankees and Yanks, well, it doesn't mean that now.
Well, you know how I know they're good.
You don't get to you using that word as a derogatory term towards me. Don't get to decide the definition of that word. That's what the last 2 months have taught me in this country. I get to decide if the word you're using is offensive, not you.
Yeah, I say it all the time. Words have the power that you assign to them. But you know how I know, Rich. You know what the indicator that that they're going to come for Yankee, because they're trying to come for 49er, because the gold rush encouraged genocide for the indigenous people out west,
and the Chinese built the railroad.
You haven't heard that there's. I'm not making that up. They're coming for the name 49er.
I've heard.
I just can't.
I've read the papers. I've read the op-eds. I've read the fucking. And none of these people are into sports, by the way. None of the people who start this shit. These are outside agitators coming in, starting shit, like throwing a fucking a live grenade with a pulled pin into a room, shutting the door, and running. And then all the bleeding heart sports fans go, "Oh, I never knew that or thought of that. We need to change everything." And they're such a small minority, dude. It's their truth. That's all that matters these days.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
How long do the Celtics have left?
Once again, that falls on us Irish. And we tend to not just... You know how you piss off Irish people? Somehow make it like the Boston Englishman's bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like Northern Ireland got what it deserved. Dame. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I seriously, I don't.
I like to tell people in San Antonio, we're not all cowboys.
How do you piss off the Irishman? Close the bar.
Or turn the bass down when they're drunk dancing at a wedding. That will get a fight started. Either of those things. I've witnessed it. But, dude, don't you remember like 20 years ago when the shit started with the Washington Bullets?
Yeah. They changed it to the Wizards.
And we were like, get the fuck out of here. And the only reason was because Washington was such a fucking shithole and was in running for murder capital of the fucking country, maybe even world for a year or two. And they were like, well, I associate bullets with people being shot in Washington. Because you're a racist piece of shit. I associate bullets with speed. Why? Because I'm not a racist piece of shit in that way.
Well, I guess.
I mean, apparently we're all racist, so you might as well not deny it, because it's a Kafka trap. If you deny it, you just proved it. If you don't deny it, you accept the accusation. You're a racist. You can't win.
Rich, are you telling me there's no more bullet trains? That's racist now?
Apparently. Well, if it goes through a neighborhood where a lot of people shoot each other, apparently it's racist then.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
It's clearance season at Target. Save up to 70% off thousands of amazing finds like sweaters, sleepwear, outerwear, and shoes for the entire family. So shop the best clearance deals at Target, where low prices and great deals make it easy to save.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
Yeah, I just can't. That's why I asked you on a real level. I can't ask you the definition of redskin and how that's racist, because I hate the fact that I have a history degree in 2020, because there's so many references to history and people are just fucking retarded.
All those hate facts that you know with your history degree.
My God in heaven, everybody hates the Stars and Bars. The KKK uses it. No, the fuck they don't.
First of all,
the KKK uses the rebel flag that was a pennant in the Northern Virginia Army. The Stars and Bars is the flag of the Confederacy.
And Earl knows this because he's like, I got both of them hanging up on my wall right now.
No, Earl knows that because what's hanging on my wall is a degree in history. Because I actually know my shit.
You are the type of fucking meathead douchebag that puts your degree on the wall. Jesus.
My degree's not in the wall. It's in a fucking box in my other spare room. But anyways,
good on you.
My point is I know history. I know what happened. I just, the 49ers, dude.
Yeah, man.
Seriously.
Hey, man, they tore down a statue of Ulysses S. Grant. All right.
They tore down a statue of Frederick Douglass.
I think that, though, I think that was, God, I hate saying this.
I know. Go ahead, Aaron. I already know Aaron's going to say it, so you might as well get it out on this one because
I think that was. I hate that I'm using this phrase. I think that was a right-wing poke. I think that was somebody doing tit for tat.
You know what? Here's the deal. To be brutally honest with you, I don't, especially after talking with Todd about his time with Occupy Wall Street, and he's like, it was plain as day to anyone who wasn't a 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old idiot who's lived with their parents all their life, that there were outside agitators coming in and starting shit. And all it takes is a few strategically placed people to get a mob going to do some shit. So I don't think it was a right-wing militia marched on that statue.
No.
Hold it down.
No, there's some assholes, some MAGA wearing motherfucker had a couple too many beers or some shit.
See, I think it's more devious than that. I think a lot of what's going on in this country is motherfuckers who hate the other side and are like, let me take this MAGA hat off and we go out there, and they can count on the vast majority of that crowd is so ignorant of who that statue is of and who Frederick Douglass was of, I can make them tear it down. That's how a statue of an elk in a park wasn't dedicated to no one racist, wasn't built by anyone racist. It was just a statue of an elk. They pulled down. I mean,
you see in Copenhagen, they spray painted racist fish on the Little Mermaid statue. I'm not making that up.
Come on, guys. They're even talking about Abraham Lincoln being racist.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, well, he freed the slaves, but it was only because he had no choice, and it was a strategic attack against the southern economies. And it's like, yeah, that's all true, too. Yeah, more than one thing can be true. But in your little mind, we understand it can't, because mommy filled your head up with your special, and so you can only hold one thought besides that in your head at the same time. So we know that. Yeah, that's why I can't fuck with these people.
And the Civil War was just about slavery. That's the only reason.
Just about. Exact. That's the only reason. That ever happened. Yep.
Because the last thing through a Confederate soldier's head was, while he was about to head into battle, probably die, was, I'm not losing my black slave. Bullshit.
Even though what? Something like 85% of the people that fought in the Civil War didn't own slaves?
Right.
They were fighting for the slave owners who were sitting on their asses in the back going, when it's the war, boys, we can keep fucking making money with these slaves. And by the way, fuck the North. I'm going to end
it because my favorite fucking story is, and the South lost. Oh, really? Then how come states have rights today?
It's because you have a lot of people who fought for over 100 years since that shit's happened to try to keep the federal government out of states' business and to play a game of checks and balances, which is what we're supposed to do. It's supposed to be a sparring match. It's not supposed to be sit down butt cheek to butt cheek and everything's perfectly fine and, birds land on your shoulders and shit in this country. It's supposed to be a tug of war. The problem is we've got to the point where extremists are now dictating the terms of what we're doing. And these extremists are on the edges of the teeter-totter, and the rest of us are in the middle. And they are now telling us, you either pick a side or you will be assigned a side.
Yeah, well, thanks for reminding me, Rich, because it's a thought I had a lot during... Boy, we strayed way off of sports, so we'll probably wrap it up after this. Just during the height of the pandemic, well, not the height, who even knows, but back in March and April when it all first began, and a lot of these governors were bitching about the lack of federal guidance. One of the first things I thought of, well, weren't you elected as a leader? Shouldn't you be getting your state through this? And then if you need help, the federal government, isn't that kind of how everything's set up? Federal government is supposed to help when you need it? Yeah,
that's what I thought. Federal government is there to take care of national infrastructure, the military, shit like that. If you need backup, that's when states can go to the federal government as individual states and ask for help.
Yeah, the dams break in Louisiana and shit gets flooded everywhere.
Half of California, half of the west coast of California burns down because someone fucking threw a lit cigarette out at the wrong time. We got flooding on the west side of the state here. There's fucking there's 30,000 people without homes anymore. Got nothing. They have nothing. But you're not going to hear it. Flint still doesn't have clean water.
Yeah.
Flint still does not have clean water, folks. That has been going on 6 years now. Black Lives Matter, then why the fuck has anybody done anything about that? Because let me tell you something. Flint is... I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say they're over 50% black. I'm going to say that's the racial makeup of that city.
The city limits? Probably.
Yes, not the suburbs. Not
all right, and the debate in Flint isn't black lives or all lives. Flint, no lives matter. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, even the fucking police are going, really?
And to bring this back to sports, you see what I'm saying? These are the people.
57% Rich, by the way. Ding, ding,
57?
Ding. Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Were you going to say something else?
I thought I was going to say in 1960, but no, that was in 2016. 50%,
okay.
57% black. So, nice guess.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, there's been a mass exodus out of Flint. Flint used to be way more populated than it was before this shit started.
Well, also
when GM left.
Well, GM left. It took Flint with it.
Yeah.
Any of us who've been in bands and played the Machine Shop know that shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, but these are people who are they're fighting to get mascots and statues torn down. And I mean, let's be honest here. There are fucking racist ass people in the history of sports. They tore down a statue of Marge Schott. Why anyone built a statue of Marge Schott or named any, no, they didn't tear down a statue. Someone was named after her. Marge Schott, former owner of the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, openly, blatantly racist and just mean old crazy bitch that inherited the team. If you know about Marge Schott, I didn't need to explain that to you. If you don't, hop on YouTube, look for best or worst of Marge Schott and fucking have a good time because it's some funny shit. You're like, how did one knock that bitch out for saying that?
Hey, can I ask an obvious question?
And by the way, it was the 80s and early 90s when this was going on. Yeah, okay, don't name something after. But you're tearing down statues of animals. You're calling for fucking teams that have nothing to do with the current situation or any current situation that's hurting human beings besides their feelings. You have people dying in Flint from contaminated water. Whole generations are going to be affected by that fucking lead poisoning. That is still going on 6 years later.
Yeah,
and you want to argue about a fucking mascot. Fuck you.
By the way, it's 4 years later since Flint was the hot shit in the news. When Hillary came to Flint, and it was a Hollywood prop. It's 4 years. It's still going on.
Yeah, but it started 6 years ago. They finally caught it because they switched over off. It's a long story. They switched off of one source of water, went with some old pipes that were really bad, full of lead. And for 2 years, politicians knew about it. No one else did. Someone fucking blew the whistle. Shit hit the fan. Nothing's been done about it. But I don't see anybody bringing cases of water on the news anymore. I don't see Puffy. I don't see Snoop. I don't see any of these athletes. I don't see any of these. Nobody. None of these protesters were like, hey, hold on a sec. Before we rip down this statue of this, what looks to be a left-handed Jewish man playing a Stratocaster, because any fro I see, he has to be Jewish because it's a racist statue. Why don't we actually go out to Flint and do some good for some human beings who are actually being fucked over by shit in this country? Nah.
If people
tear down that statue.
If people want to make it a partisan thing, there's been a Democratic administration in Michigan for the last 2 years. Flint's still fucked up.
Rich, you and I talked about this. The answer is the human person. Human beings will take the path of least resistance, period. That's it. In any scenario. Yes, the path of least resistance. Instead of making change that can be effective and helpful to people, they're going to go march in a little parade, maybe loot a TV or something, put a post on social media, lay down in bed and go, I did my job.
I'm gonna tell you this, okay? If you know, to our like one of 4 listeners or whatever we fucking have, if you're listening to this and you ever hear one of these people, now I'm not talking someone, if they bring up a valid social concern, I would hope that anybody listening to us would actually, and they do it in a way that opens up the path to discussion, to maybe finding common ground, to trying to understand where the other person's coming from. Even if you don't agree, you can understand where they're coming from and how they reached that point. Do it. But if you run into one of these inflexible people, gatekeep them out of your fucking shit. And your shit, if you're listening to this podcast, is sports. Gatekeep the fuck out of sports. Do not let these motherfuckers come in and start this shit. Because if they do and they get a foothold, it's done for. I'm telling you, okay? It happened to the video game world. It happened to the comic book world. It's happened to movies, television. Now you have people who are of mixed race who are quitting cartoons because they're playing someone who is of mixed race in the cartoon. They're voicing it, but they feel it should be a person of color. What the fuck kind of sense does... These are the people you're dealing with. Keep them the fuck out of sports. Keep them out. Keep them out.
Have you heard about
the only choice we got?
This gem from the last week? Halle Berry had to apologize because she was considering taking on the role of a trans person.
Because actors don't act anymore.
Yeah.
So like I said, I can't wait for the next Friday the 13th movie, because what serial killer are we breaking out of prison to play Jason?
Right.
I can't wait to the next Requiem for a Dream, because what group of fucking racist or rapists are we going to get to refilm the ass-to-ass scene? Right? Because there's no such thing as acting anymore. It's offensive to act like you're something you're not.
Yes, you have to have those roles to real junkies.
Hey, spike up, baby. It's and it ain't in a fucking Robert De Niro I'm trying to be authentic way either. It's let's go find a junkie. Let's go find Mickey Rourke and give him some work.
Well, if we're going to use real junkies to play junkies, your payroll budget's going to go down considerably for these films.
Yeah, but your insurance is going to go up.
Right?
Because you're going to have to keep a whole fucking fleet of trucks with Narcan on fucking...
Sure, the money will just transfer to a different line item on the P&L.
But seriously, I'm imploring you. Head them off at the pass. Keep their bullshit. The name change thing, if you want to argue that, hey, you're free American or whatever country, hopefully you're free if you're listening to this because you get the internet. You're from whatever country you're in and you're of legal age. You want to piss into a window fan and get it back all over you. Knock yourself out. At least a third of this podcast, they try hard to do it every day. And it's just like, well, if that's how you want to pass the time, cool. But understand you're just passing time and you're not really helping the cause. You box them out. It's the only way to deal with it. You don't like sports. You've never cared about sports. Now all of a sudden, you're popping off about this shit. You have no idea what you're talking about. Hit them with the facts. Send them on their way. Do not debate them. Do not get caught up in their Kafka traps. Do not get caught up in their goalpost moving. Do not get caught up in their fucking cult of woke that's going to go, well, that's your privilege talking, or some other shit that they're going to somehow make it about you. To where they're going to go from you're attacking their idea that you should change this mascot to now they're attacking you. That's how you know the conversation's ended. Slam the gate shut, put the chain on, lock it, walk the fuck away. Gatekeep like a motherfucker. Because I don't want to lose sports. And I'm not bullshitting. I think we're on the verge of losing sports as we know it with this shit going on with the virus and the worry about it and the concern about it. Now you add on the social angst. You know it doesn't make the couple the cake. It's the big deal. Make the couple the cake. They're crying about it. Give them their way. If you have ever had a kid and you raised a kid, you know if you have a kid, the minute he cries, you give him what he wants, and you do that for the first 5 years of his life, you've just raised a sociopath.
Hey, you've just created a monster.
Yes.
I told you, man. Future's going to be fucking great. I can't wait. And if it's not,
everything's perfect.
I'm looking at you, millennials and Gen Z, because you just got all this goddamn purity shit that you just. Hey, you know, you guys know me. I'm a standards guy. Great, cool, have great standards. I'm holding you to them, though, assholes. I'm holding you to them.
I'll tell you one thing. In everything we've talked about, there's one thing that got lost. There's one professional sports team who is very happy not to be playing in front of fans.
The Houston Astros?
Fucking the Astros. Yep.
You know what? If there's a list of winners of COVID-19, the Astros are on them.
Have to be.
The Astros, Russell Simmons, there's a few people who they're fucking, COVID-19 is their boy.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, they were going to face horrendous heckling.
Oh.
Horrendous. Which is going to be, by the way, apparently that's a big issue, a bigger issue than I've actually taken seriously on this podcast before in Boston. I've been through Boston. I've never went to any sports events in Boston. I've never really spent any time in Boston, like hanging out, like 2-3 weeks, getting to know the local people, the local crowd, and neighborhoods. Apparently, like every derogatory racial slur for anybody that can be thought of, they're like Gunnery Sergeant Hartman from Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, Boston? Oh, they're like Olympic.
Like if you're a white guy and your hair's greasy, fucking greaser. You know, like they're gonna fucking whop Mick. They're gonna find something.
Stealing a phrase from Alec Baldwin from 30 Rock, they're Olympic level racists in Boston. A lot of people are.
Yeah. See, so apparently there's a big problem with that, and you know the Red Sox have said no tolerance policy applies now.
Well,
if someone even goes, that person said a racial slur, gone, give up your season tickets, have a nice one. You know what they're going to do? They're going to take the season tickets. They're not going to refund them. They're not going to prorate them, or not give them or refund their money by prorating it, or refund them totally. And they're going to turn around and prorate it and sell it to the next person sitting in the line because there is a waiting list for Boston Red Sox season tickets. Much.
You should give them to a person of color. Boston Red Sox. You want to walk the walk. You want to talk the talk. Take them away from a white person. Give them to a person of color. There you go.
Here you go, Chris. You need to edit that segment, put it out into the baseball ether, because you will end up as the next general manager or team president of the team looking to be the wokest team in sports. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Cool. Pay raise. Sweet.
Oh, like a motherfucker.
Cool. You guys be on my staff. I'll find something for you.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what.
You'd be scouts.
Yeah. Wait. So where does what region of the country does this Rich scout? Pretty much any place with a good bar scene.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It seems to work for him. So yeah. He's been looking at the Dallas, Chicago, and Tampa. The what?
Dallas Cowboys. They got to change their name.
Oh yeah, too. We're not. I mean, yeah.
Cowboys and what? Cowboys and what? That's how they're going to. Boom. That's how they're going to get them. They're going to say, we associate the term cowboys with Indians. And just like now, they're going after cop shows, not cops, not live PD. I'm talking, really? No one bothers me until I get on a fucking show. So fuck you, phone off. Jesus fucking Christ, it bothers me so much. And I always forget to do it. Anyways, they're going to say,
you know what,
I associate Indians with... He's
It's okay, Rich. You've only been doing this for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years.
I know. It's my birthday. Yeah.
No, I thought it was a sound effect from Chris. I was like, "Yep, blow the harmonica. Here we go."
I mean, you were talking about cowboys. It did seem.
That's what I'm saying.
I should have just let it go. But anyway, but they're going to say I associate the term cowboys with cowboys and Indians. That's a racist, white supremacist stereotype propagated by systemic racism filtered through your white privilege, which is completely filtered through this entire Western culture of the world based on white supremacy. You have to change your name.
Yeah.
And there will be an article that will get national attention that says, if not exactly that, something along those lines. I give that 2 years at most.
Patriots, that's going to have to go.
Hey, all countries matter on the 4th of July.
What's a red? All right. I bet you. Red?
Oh,
you mean like red skin?
No, but here's the thing. Are you calling us commies?
Yeah.
Well, I thought aren't you? We're Marxist-Leninists. You don't even know what that means.
Brewers going to promote alcoholism.
What about the Chiefs?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's on the list of names. That is currently on the list of names people want changed. That is already in the conversation, sir.
Okay, but the Royals are safe.
No, classism, imperialism. Let's see what else.
Dude, no. You think we're joking?
No,
I'm
I'm not.
regimented for fucking 6 years. Because I have to pay attention to this shit to do a show like Unregimented, I have become like indoctrinated in the ways of them. Like I could go infiltrate them and talk some shit and probably rise pretty high through the ranks before I got found out. Like I think I could really start some shit in that fucking, like I could kind of be a cult leader because I know their rap so well. Why? Because it's just a modified version. You got to learn the terminology. You got to learn the verbiage. You got to learn the nomenclature. It's just a modified version of these religious cults. And
but the Lions, the Detroit teams are safe. We got Lions, Tigers, Pistons.
No, animal rights, dude. I told you, animal rights.
Okay, that takes care of the Lions and the Tigers. What about the Pistons and the Red Wings?
Pistons weren't they originally supposed to? No, it was Pistons because of Detroit. They got rid of...
But they're from Fort Wayne. They were the Fort Wayne Pistons, and they moved to Detroit.
Why am I thinking horse associated with Pistons? Because of their 90s logo.
Yeah.
That teal fucking stewed tomato of a miscarriage that they put on their fucking... Yeah, that's why. Sorry. So, yeah, Pistons... Yeah, the logo doesn't have anything to do with anything as far as anything. It's just
red,
white, and blue.
I'm sure that...
Red, white, and blue. The colors, though, that could be a problem.
Red Wings probably racist. They'll figure it out.
Red Wings?
Yeah. I don't know. Somehow. It's probably racist.
I will say this. Someone will eventually dig up enough shit on the Spartans because the level of intelligence I assume most of these people have is the only thing they know about Spartans is 300.
300.
Yeah.
And Larry Nassar.
No. I'm talking about in a historical sense. Not like in the sense of like where the name comes from. So someone's going to have to write a story explaining how the Spartans and what they did to their own children. By the way, male and female, they were equal opportunity, child touchers, pee-pee gazers. So it's going to take someone writing an article, and then there'll be like and then there'll be like a backlash to that because. Mark my words, if you're under 65, I guarantee you, and you live to the average, I guarantee you we're going to hear a small but legit push that pedophilia is a sexual orientation and you cannot help it.
It's already started.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking legit push. It ain't legit. That's not a mainstream thought. You will not turn on any news program and hear them push that in a neutral way. They will say that people are protesting this, but they'll say it in that newsy way of, we disagree with this. But then eventually someone's going to get offended, and the right group's going to get offended, and they're going to threaten the wrong company's money, and someone will pick up the fucking torch for them. It's how we're at where we're at.
Speaking of which, marathons are going to be canceled because history buff, duh. The term marathon got its name because of the Spartans running from Marathon back to Athens, trying to tell them that the Persians were invading.
Wait, we forgot about this.
26.3 miles.
The 76ers are going to have to go. right? That's celebrating the founding fathers.
1776, yep.
Gold State Warriors. Can't do Warriors or Braves anymore, right? They're going to have to go. Let's see. Sacramento Kings, imperialism once again. I don't even know what a Cavalier is.
Same thing, LA Kings.
So they're probably safe.
Cavalier?
Yeah. I know it was a car that Chevy made.
It's Pirate.
Let's see.
Buccaneers?
Pirates, anything pirate related. Eventually, someone's gonna point out that, hey, pirates weren't like in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Yeah.
They actually would rape and kill and steal
rape and pillage.
And
Let's see.
Can't have any teams named after pirates.
Trailblazers, Lewis and Clark were explorers, so obviously genocide.
Not Lewis and Clark. It's Trail of Tears, baby.
So they're going to have to go. Well, no, that's why the Trailblazers are called Trailblazers, because Lewis and Clark ended in Portland, or ended up where
it's not about Lewis and Clark. It's about the Trail of Tears.
That's true.
Go.
Let's see. NFL.
This is kind of fun.
Let's see.
I like this.
Let's see. Patriots is easy. Cowboys.
Jacksonville's easy. Carolina's easy.
Animal. Steelers.
Florida Marlin.
Steelers Steelers is economic inequality between the people at the top and the people who are actually working in the steel mills.
Yeah, classist. There you go. So that makes Packers classist as well.
Yep.
Slam dunk here. Vikings, you got to go.
Oh, yeah.
Rapists, genocidists, Texans.
And they were overwhelmingly white.
Texans, self-explanatory.
Chicago, you're fucked with PETA.
Let's see. Animal. Saints, religious. Don't push your religion on me. Raiders, yeah, obviously, genocide again.
Well, not only that, but it falls under the Pirates.
Yep.
So.
Let's see. On the baseball. Remember? Tampa Bay had to drop the devil. They're just now the Tampa Bay Rays.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a couple years ago, Holmes.
See, Tampa Bay hasn't been the Devil Rays in I think since the middle of 2000s. I think they switched in 2004. Was their first or last year? Yeah. Oh, dead serious.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
all right. So, I mean, for the most part, we can get pretty much all the pro sports teams until you reach hockey.
The Nationals promotes nationalism. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Angels, there's religious implications.
Mariners, that'd be class warfare again, right?
Yeah. And then Dodgers. I mean,
Trolley Dodgers. It was little kids playing in the streets.
So racist.
In Brooklyn. But this is when Brooklyn was predominantly white.
Padres, religious.
Religious, yep.
Let's see. We only got
Texas Rangers, police.
Yeah. Defund the Rangers.
Defund the Rangers. Hashtag defund the Rangers. Hashtag don't mind if I don't. Don't mind if I don't. You know what I'm saying? How about that? Anyways, we could do this forever. The point is that if you've hung on this long, you must be somewhat interested in what we're saying. Here's the evidence. We've laid it out for the last roughly half hour. This is how ridiculous these idiots who do not care about what you're passionate about, the hobby you're passionate about, sports, are trying to come in and dictate to you what you can and can't enjoy when they have no idea what the fuck's going on. If you can't tell me who Frederick Douglass is, when we start to have a discussion about race and offensive symbols in this country, if you can't tell me that, we're not having that discussion. Gate closed. Later for you. Period. End of story.
By the way, Earl, St. Louis Blues would be racist.
Now, how is the St. Louis Blues racist? It's a music.
Because it would be cultural appropriation because it's mostly a white team.
See, he would rise through the ranks.
Their best goalie was Grant Fuhrer.
He's
black.
He was only half black.
Oh my God.
He had internalized racism. I can do this all day, dude. This is what they do. I've learned how to argue like them. Because I'm a true believer in know your enemy. This is why when I was a useful idiot for these people, these type of people, but I didn't realize it when I was younger, and I was like, fuck religion, fuck this, fuck that, fuck that. Yeah, fuck that. Keep it out of my fucking laws, but that's where I should have shut my fucking ignorant mouth. No, I was young and I was impressionable and we would be better off without religion. What I didn't realize, because I didn't have the experience and I didn't have the life experience to back this up, is you take something that huge away from a society, they're going to replace it with something else. And it's going to be something along the lines of a religion. This is what the cult of woke is. End of story.
Yeah.
So you got to keep them out.
I can't get there. I'm not even going to. Good on you for knowing your enemy. I know who the enemy is, and that's as far as I go with it. Fuck
well, that's the difference between I'd put you on the front lines to catch bullets and I'd be in the back fucking making the battle decisions. So
that's where I put you out on the battlefield. My fat ass is sitting at home watching it on TV.
Okay, well. Anyways, my point is I can even do this. Utah Jazz, cultural appropriation. There's no jazz in Utah.
That's true. Well,
but that's kind of a fair one, though. It was like, really?
Yeah.
There's an awful lot of white people in Utah to be calling it the Jazz.
I mean, what kind of jazz are we talking? Are we talking Kenny G?
Yeah,
there's that.
Like doctor's office jazz, for sure. Dentist office jazz.
Well, here you go. Here, have fun with this one, Rich. Colorado Avalanche. Go ahead.
Avalanche.
Whiteness everywhere.
No, stop. I can really do this. Hold on. It's like 6 degrees of separation.
6 degrees of racism?
Yeah, it is. It's 6 degrees of oppression. I just got to think of this for a sec. Okay, Avalanche. Okay. The Donner Party was in Colorado. The Avalanche locked the Donner Party in. The Donner Party had to eat each other. You're celebrating a horrendous occasion with this name. You must change this name.
Oh, no, no, you're celebrating destruction. I think you maybe is right in front of you. You're just celebrating destruction.
Miami Hurricanes.
Destruction.
My mother's house was destroyed by a hurricane. My brother died in a hurricane. Change your name. I'm offended. Change your name. I can do this all day. They are doing this. Don't ever fucking. You think I'm bullshitting? You think I'm fucking with you?
No, I don't.
You think I'm fucking with you? I feel like Charlie River right now. Then challenge him.
Make sure your people is there to see it.
People's there to see it. And then what happened after Rich broke down the call to woke? He ate some pancakes. Yeah. That's what he did.
Motherfucker made pancakes, man. Can't make this shit up.
Tampa Bay Lightning. I got to hear this one.
Lightning, natural disaster.
Celebrating destruction.
Yep, once again. My uncle was killed by lightning. I'm offended. Somewhere there's a support group on Facebook or you can Google for people, survivors of family members and loved ones who've been killed by lightning. And I guarantee you if I went to their forum, if they're the right type of mindset with the right age, I could turn them to my side. I guarantee it. My side being, we need to get rid of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Just to do it. Just to prove how stupid it is.
You just want to get rid of Tampa Bay Lightning. Like, fuck Steven Stamkos.
Get rid of him. Yzerman left. Fuck him.
First of all, here's what the fuck they're going to do. Like Tampa Bay's in Florida. Florida has a hockey team? Florida has 3 hockey teams.
Wait, okay. What? Yeah.
No, 2. Two. Sorry. Panthers and Lightning. Jacksonville hasn't got one yet.
Wait for it.
But yeah, and it'd be like, yeah, I know. And they're down there and they're goofing on your people, man. They look at the tragedy you endured by your father being struck by lightning, your child being struck by lightning, and they're mocking it with that name.
Yeah, they have a huge lightning bolt as their logo.
The pain you felt, the suffering you've went through, all the nights you cried. See how you do that? It's so fucking easy. Once you understand that they're just like religious nuts, you just switch some things around and boom, plug and play, baby. It's like me with a guitar. You can plug me into a Fender or a Marshall. As long as I can touch the EQ knobs, I'm going to sound like me. Just a little bit different, but I'm still going to sound like me playing.
That's I can't get that.
It's all based off of Dogma, Earl.
So anyways.
All right.
Thanks for hanging in this long. We do appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to our sports podcast.
Well, I mean, here's the deal.
Well, it's just where everything is right now.
Yeah. And I mean, the minute sports start to be played, there's going to be a microscope on them. We're definitely going to have more to talk about. We'll probably, I imagine, at least until, like, once they start exhibitions, we're going to have to ramp up to twice a month.
Remember when we used to talk about all the dumb shit Antonio Brown was doing? Can we go back to that?
Well, here's the thing, though. They're talking about playing the other national anthem for the first week of NFL.
No, dude. No. Stop. You had 2.5 hours, bro. You're not fucking doing this. If you do it, I'm walking off the show. And this time, I will walk. The last time was not, no, I had a situation I had to handle. I will just be like, thank you for listening. Have a good night. Listen to this asshole rant about something he should have brought up 2.5 hours ago. I'm not doing it, dude, because this is a half-hour, 45-minute conversation with you about this. I don't care what you say. I know you. Save it for next show. Should have brought it up 2.5 hours ago. Come on, man. Unless you guys want to go a half hour. It's up to you.
I'm good, man. I think it's a dead horse that we beat. Wait, I now feel that's somehow racist after the conversation we just had. I can't even talk about beating a dead horse. Well, I just did now. Well, that's it for me. Well,
PETA and the SPSCA or whatever wants you to go listen to Sarah McLachlan and flog yourself until you feel.
Well, luckily he owns the network. He can't be canceled.
I'm like Dave Portnoy.
Here's the beauty of this entire podcast. I'm almost tempted to go post this in enemy territory and be like, just listen. And then give them like go through listen to this timestamp, this timestamp, this timestamp, and watch them lose their minds and watch the emails flood into Christopher Media, and Chris be like, I own the motherfucker. I was on there saying it. Can't cancel me. I'm cancel proof. Sorry.
Thanks for the downloads. That's what I would say.
Yeah, thanks for the numbers. Appreciate it.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for giving me something I can sell.
On top of every list.
Thanks for giving me something I can sell to sponsors. Appreciate it. But for real, if you if you downloaded this on purpose because you like it, thank you. At Sporgy Podcast on Twitter, at just Sporgy at ChristopherMedia.net is the email. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Spreaker.com, ChristopherMedia.net. Which you go there, you click the PayPal button, you click the Amazon banner if you want to help us out. But other than that, we'll see you soon. We'll go with that.
How many seconds till our next show? Because for every second till the next show, Patrick Mahomes makes $1.60.
Yeah, probably.
No, they broke it down. I'm looking at the breakdown. Year, day, hour, minute, second. 96 a minute, 5,742 an hour. And it gets even more like, ugh. Why did my dad not throw the football more with me as you go up?
Or be black.
Is he? I thought I
was talking about you, your dad.
Oh, my dad?
Yeah.
Why would I want my dad to be?
It was a joke. So be big.
I was
bigger.
So I could say anything. I could bigger. Yeah. Okay. Any bigger, and shit's gonna start falling off from diabetes.
Well,
I'm not gonna have to get it cut off. So
I meant taller. We're both generally the same. For athletes, we would be considered short. Man, that joke just blew up on the launch pad.
I'm sorry, man. That's my bad. My mind was someplace else. I'm like, why would I? Because I could say anything I want. Because I'm like, what?
Be more athletic.
I didn't think of it that way.
All right, well. Anyways, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.